Leave meeting.
Whoa.
Got it.
Got a new...
Hello, everyone. I don't know how to start these anymore. Welcome to Tales from the Forgotten Troop. We are back with more Jukebox Justice. If you are enjoying what we're doing, we have lots of affiliate links where you can support the show if you want to. Just if you want to give us money or buy stuff.
You can also buy us stuff.
You can buy us stuff.
Or you could buy us. Wait.
No, that is not okay.
I mean, it depends on what you're buying us for. If you're buying us to put on a live show, that's acceptable.
That's acceptable. I will.
I think that's more
we probably need a list of things that they could buy. You know,
That's
like
fair.
not, you know.
Stickers.
Like, finish this sentence because it's not going anywhere great, Jenna.
I don't know where to put my stickers,
I
so they
would
just
like a
sit on my
house.
computer.
Preach.
Anyway, you could also follow us on social media or join our Discord for updates about the show. Both are great places, full of great things and great people. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, we have weekly streams on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, so feel free to join us and hang out and chat and talk with us and see what's going on. But if you're just gonna be hanging out on the YouTube, make sure to like the video and subscribe because those are great. And it's a non-monetary way to say you love us.
So someday we can make money from YouTubes.
That's all I got. So let's go around and have everyone introduce themselves and their characters, and I don't know, just tell me about a win you've had this week because I've had an astonishing lack of them.
Sorry.
I'm gonna raise my chair up a little bit.
I guess I'll go first. I'm Tess. I play Sylvie, aka Valkyrie, and despite the injury at the con last weekend, the convention itself was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of really cool new people and added a new convention to my regular lineup, it looks like. So just only did slightly dumb things. It's fine.
Yes.
I'll go next. Hello, everyone. I am Mr. Crow, alternatively just Crow, and I will be playing Joe Hatathli, aka Watchdog. And as for my win this week, I feel like the obvious one is that Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th Edition is officially out, a game I thought was never going to be released. So,
But are the werewolves also cowboys?
And
they
lesbians.
can be,
yes.
if you want them to be.
Lesbian cowboys.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yep.
There is also one sample werewolf in that game that is just straight up Joe if he was set in modern era.
But
so
what if he was a lesbian?
There was some questions.
Tess is like, yes.
Jenna just really wants to complete the lesbian polycule.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's like a collect them all situation, okay?
Aren't I? I'm just that one miscolored bathroom tile that you're just like, why aren't you perfect?
Yes.
Every friend group needs a token straight.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true.
Valid.
I'm like a lightning rod. I gotta absorb the energy.
I'm one with the chaos.
Yes.
Try to
What
be the voice of
consumes you?
reason.
The hive mind.
Yeah. Why would you do that? No. We're just like, do crime.
You're superheroes.
But crime.
But crime.
Yes,
If we're going
the
that
wheel-
route, we're gonna have to transition over to Blades in the Dark.
The
Oh,
wheel of
fair.
morality. I'm Jenna, and I played Roxy, and my win this week was that I did not throat punch anybody.
Valid.
Also, I
Yeah.
won a pissing contest with somebody who should not be having pissing contests in my industry. So, cool.
Uh,
Oh,
Don't
I'm
start 'em.
Maria.
I finish them, though.
I play Elena, aka Easy Living. And my win will be tomorrow when I go back to the beach. Umbrella
yeah.
or no umbrella, I have sunscreen. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't
Floppy
separate in the
hat.
car.
Yeah, I was gonna say just get a floppy.
No, I
hat.
brought it inside because I threw it in my bag.
Yeah, good.
Like it might have been in my car for the last 2 weeks, but never mind. It's inside. It's fine.
And I do have
That's when you pick up a new bottle on the way to the beach.
I have to get more anyway, so it all works out.
and I do have one win for all of us. Sylvie's back.
Sylvie's back! Yay!
that maybe should have come at the end, but I
Yeah.
am
Oh,
Brianna.
shoot.
I play.
I forgot how to count.
I play Cynthia Evans, otherwise known as Echo, and my win is that I do know how to count. My win
Gays
is
can't do math.
You're our token gay that can count, and Crow's our token straight that can't.
Fine, it all
That's
balances out.
true.
Instead, I can do higher order math.
I literally said that yesterday.
I
Somebody
have
asked
lost the
how many-
ability to do mental math.
Yeah.
in
How many
exchange
people
for
are
the
going to be
ability
there?
to
I'm
do
like, I don't know,
statistics.
5. No, we have 6 people here now. Oh well, I'm gay. I can't do math.
No, my win though is that the drama surrounding PhD candidacy has been concluded. So
Yay! Thank goodness.
Hallelujah.
Very nice.
I'm moving on with my life.
That's good.
Yay. That's a
Onward
good
and
plan.
Alrighty.
You're a bigger person than us. We would have made friends with his wife and then made her question her whole life
Maybe not.
Get-
I'd like to keep my job.
choices. Fair.
Jenna,
Hey,
Jenna, I consider you a friend. Have you ever considered not starting an emotional conspiracy and revenge for things?
No.
no.
Is that even a question?
Absolutely 100% no. That's a negative. The point
I feel
is
like
that
there's like the chaos gremlins of the team and then the logistics people of the team.
Oh boy.
And it's mirrored in game.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Joe and Cynthia really are team mom and dad, respectively, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Just 3 chaotic children swarming about them.
Nobody in this team is responsible 100% of the time.
That is true.
They're team big brother and big sister. Team
Yeah.
mom and dad are the various moms we've collected over the course of the sessions.
Yes.
Soon we will
Hey, we're about
collect
to get a
one
team dad.
dad.
Oh
Exactly
yeah,
one
we will-
dad.
We will also
Dad today.
yeah.
Yay.
Assuming Joe doesn't get murdered at the second location.
Yeah.
Where's Daddy?
Hey, I successfully talked him down. My ribs are broken, but it was successful.
Probably have a lot of splinters.
Count this as a success.
The girls just all have tweezers and are picking them out of Joe.
Just standing there like,
I mean, I feel like with well, I don't know if that would work. I was gonna say, I feel like with Cynthia's telekinesis, she might be able to just lift them all out.
ooh.
Yeah,
And Steve
probably.
Anti-
painful.
I don't know if that'd
would
be
that
good or
be
bad.
good?
Yeah.
That's the real question.
I feel like
I
if
don't
you
know.
pull all those splinters at once, the chunk of skin's just gonna go.
Yeah,
Fine.
and then you
I
gotta
mean-
pull them like straight out, and you don't like because when you like pull a splinter out, you should be like breaking it out and not destroying all the skin. You know, with telekinesis, you just be
Theoretically-
destroying it.
If you do it at a fine enough level, you could trace the path it went in.
That's a lot of work. I feel like Cynthia would just be like, "Pluck, you heal,
Anyway.
it's fine."
Start of the session, Add a team to the pool. You're up to 11 team.
Team.
11 team.
team.
Spend this stuff.
And previously on Jukebox Justice, the girls informed Hecate of the werewolf cult that was present in Halcyon, which she found concerning, understandably.
Right.
Elena went and collected Roxy's hairbrush, and they dropped it off with Henry to compare to Roxy's cheek swab to see if they could gather some additional information as to what was going on there. They decided to wait until Joe got back before they tried to do anything else to broach the werewolf population in Halcyon. And Joe did indeed return, but hasn't fully reunited with the team just yet. Instead, he left his dad at his dorm and went to meet Roscoe at the Hungry Sailor to deal with the aftermath of his body snatcher's sudden departure. Roscoe was unhappy, to put it mildly, and took him out to a field on the outskirts of Halcyon where he chased Joe through the trees. And
Just a friendly game of tag.
yeah, threw him
With
through a couple
claws
more trees.
and teeth.
Hide and seek.
And trapped him underneath a tree. Despite all of that, Joe managed to convince Roscoe to join his side against the Alpha and free Halcyon from the hold they had on it. Joe also spotted a series of overgrown cabins on the opposite side of a lake. TBD on what that means. Meanwhile,
I have a guess.
Thistle visited Roxy and Elena and told them Joe was back. And they wanted to have her help in their investigation, but she decided that she needed to get home. Before she officially left, though, she did offer to pop over to the other reality and see if the Roxy that should be there was still missing.
Mhm.
So, let me change the music here.
Ellie.
That was a little more dramatic than I was intending, but you know, we're just
It's fine.
It's for the ensuing fight when Roxy's like, "Hey, why do you get to bring enemies to the fucking base and I can't take them to wash up in
And I can't take them to dinner.
in the mechanic shop and then take them to dinner at the junkyard?"
The difference is this enemy already knew all of that.
What? All of what?
this is
But you're allowed to tell enemies about us, and we're not allowed to tell our
I
enemies about us.
don't like this fefeels unfair in the rules. Like, why are
We
you
will
allowed
have
to
this
do stuff that
conversation
I'm
in
not allowed
character
to
soon
do?
enough. Let's save the energy.
okay.
I don't like
So-
it when it's unfair.
Let's pick up with Joe. You're on the edge of a lake and see these overgrown cabins on the other side from you. Roscoe is back in his human form and standing nearby. You're still hurting. What do you want to do?
Well, we're gonna start with a couple shifts in and out just to start putting ribs back where they're supposed to be.
Probably, I mean, I'd imagine due to just the amount of damage you took, it is still a slow going process even for you.
Yeah. And as I'm doing that, I'll say, okay. That worked. Cool. Well, I guess immediate question, is it just you out here, or do we have somebody else to convince?
If you're talking about right now, it should just be the two of us. I haven't heard anyone else in the woods, so.
Okay. I'll reach into my pocket, pull out the communicator. Is it still intact?
Yeah.
Okay. I did get thrown through a couple of trees. Wasn't certain if that thing would still be one piece.
It's probably banged up, maybe got a couple dents, but it's in pretty solid shape.
I would argue these communicators are Sylvie and Roxy proof at this point.
Yeah.
So
They're like
Also-
those construction worker phones, you know, that you can like drop in. Like,
I was gonna say,
1,000,000
also at
stories.
this point, I feel like we definitely haven't gotten to the stage yet where technology's become more fragile. Because the early cell phones were basically bricks.
Oh
So this
yeah.
would kind of like emulate that energy.
That's true.
The theft deterrent was throwing them at people's faces.
Yeah.
Theft deterrent, violence.
Yes. If you have to ask why I am the way I am, Crow, I grew up in a very, very tumultuous time. The Y2Ks.
You say that, yet my father did specifically move my family out to the middle of nowhere to prepare for Y2K. We were very close to being a prepper
Ooh.
family.
All right.
Don't watch our 10 candles. Please, character might have that backstory.
In any case, I will whip out the communicator and I'll see if I can get a signal all the way out here.
You cannot. You are too far. These communicators don't have great range as it is. So pretty much, like if you're on your own, once you leave the immediate boundary of Halcyon City, you're pretty much guaranteed to be out of range of any signal you could get back.
The
No
trees are in the
antenna
way.
to bounce it off of.
You might be able to get an outgoing signal, but it'd be like a one-way message kind of deal. And that's if you're
Like
lucky.
from me to someone else?
No, someone else to you.
Oh, okay.
Like if Cynthia were to use the antenna at the base to send out a message, that might be able to reach you, but you wouldn't be able to get a strong enough signal back.
And I'm
Okay.
not saying that Cynthia, well, Cynthia might be involved. Sometimes she gets involved in our shenanigans. Sylvie and Elena and Roxy are messing with the antenna and sending out weird messages.
I as we last left it, Cynthia is waiting by the radio. So somebody said he
Joe.
would check in an hour.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think Sylvie's anywhere, or Sylvie's with whoever is researching pheromones right now.
I was gonna say we did that. That was part of our montage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You-
that typically happened before all this.
We just need you. I think a roll. I think is what Charlie decided.
Yeah, I
Well,
wanted.
we can-
Elena's just been rocking.
we
a
can
gas
do that
mask.
Later.
in a bit.
Yeah.
I have not.
I was
forgotten.
just clarifying that if anything, Sylvie is not with the group
Okay.
by the
Bedazzled.
radio.
Yeah. I think that probably right now Roxy is with Sarah in the training area in the base, like just shenanigans, like just like the Godzilla thing, like Roxy likes that. So like they're doing something similar to that, like something ridiculous, or like, can you create a hoverboard that I can like stand on? Like
Oh
it's
boy.
just it's stupidity.
Yes.
The
Elena's there for
1980s
safety
version of 2020
purposes.
today.
Elena's there to catch us if we fall.
We missed the
Fair.
safety net.
Yeah.
All right. At getting no signal, I feel like Joe would look back to Roscoe. Do you know about how long it's been since we headed out here?
The drive itself was around like 25, 30 minutes. So we haven't been in the field
Okay.
too long.
I need to check in with my team. I radioed them before meeting you, and well, I didn't exactly know how this was gonna go, so don't want them to worry too much. Should probably
Yeah.
head back.
Okay. Turn around
Joe
and
sorta-
start heading back towards the truck.
Yeah, Joe starts to follow him, sort of looks over his shoulder at the cabins, sort of thinking. Then I'll continue following.
Okay.
And on our way back, I want to try to pay somewhat close attention to the route out here, because I think Joe wants to come back here at some point.
Okay. Go ahead and roll assess the situation for me.
Oh, okay.
See how well you can keep track of things.
Assess the situation is superior. Yeah. Oh, great start. So my superior is -1. I rolled a 4, so that's a 3.
Yeah, you're the side roads and like it's a lot of twists and turns, and feel like you lose the path pretty quickly.
All right. Okay, but once we're getting closer to Halcyon, like I'll be trying the communicator over and over until I can connect with Echo.
Okay. It probably gradually gets clearer. I'd say Echo on your end, it's very broken up and staticky at first, so you're just getting little bits of static, no discernible words or sound. You don't know. I mean, you could presume it's Joe, but you don't know for certain. So it's just little like blips coming from the radio. And then eventually actual sounds and bits of words come through, but it's still very broken up at first, so you can't really make out what's being said. I don't know if you're if you just wait or you're gonna try and respond.
Sorry. I'm gonna yawn real loud. No. Echo's gonna probably
Echo
keep
location.
Yeah. I pick up the mic. I pick up the
Triangulate.
receiver and I scream into it. No.
She got
Judge
sonic
the
burst
time she
power
hears the
and
scream.
all the werewolves are now deaf.
I am Black Canary. But no, I'm gonna she'd probably give a shot at responding, but given how broken up it is, not really expecting it to go through.
Okay, what do you say?
Watchdog? Is that you?
Echo, come in. Echo, come in. This is Watchdog.
You probably get Echo's full sentence, but because coming from the base, the signal is a bit stronger. But initially, that response from Watchdog is still kind of like broken up, so you're only getting, maybe you might hear like echo and then in, and then another like come and then echo. And
You're really broken up. I can't make out what you're saying.
In more ways than one. Roxy just in the background doing like weird poses on a hoverboard.
Outside of Halcyon, on way back. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Echo?
No.
How much of that do I get, if any?
You probably get outside Halcyon back.
Keep trying. I can't tell if you're dying or not yet.
Not dying, alive, on my way back.
Charlie's like, I'm gonna be so evil.
Yeah.
Dying.
Yep. Dying. Way back.
What? I'm still gonna give him the rest of probably the hour because it sounds like he's not. The way he's saying it doesn't sound like he's dying, but
I'd say we probably hit the hour when the static started coming through, so we're
okay.
over
Time to
the
go.
time limit at this point. But
We're supposed to go to that one place, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing from him, but it's only like bits and pieces. He doesn't
Okay.
sound dead.
Well, yeah,
That's
I
good.
mean, it is hard to talk when you're dead.
Just a little.
for some people.
Echo to or Watchdog to Echo. Watchdog
to
to
Watchdog.
Echo. I'm alive, relatively okay. On my way back.
I'm relatively.
I'd say now you're probably starting getting. At this point, you're starting to get the full messages.
Ah.
Watchdog to Echo. Come on.
He sounds very tired. Should we respond and say we got his message, or do we just?
Okay, you're coming through more.
Can you hear me?
Mostly.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I'm not dead.
That's good.
Things actually went pretty good, all things considered.
Okay.
I may have pulled a Roxy. Long story.
That has many concerning meanings, potentially.
Did he get multiple girlfriends?
I put a hand over the receiver and I'm like, maybe, but he's got no game. I turn
doubt
back.
it.
Oh.
Roxy's like doing a backflip off of the hoverboard. I highly doubt that.
You're in a
Maybe
different
he's
room.
hoverboarding.
You
He's
pull,
too
so
grody to handle more than one gal.
what does that mean? You pulled a Roxy.
Well, you remember.
Did you get almost kidnapped?
No. Wait, what?
Did you try to teach plants capitalism and or communism?
Simultaneously.
I think Roscoe just starts
Hang on.
laughing next to Joe.
A
so you
lot has
just
happened
hear-
since Joe's been gone.
You just hear this laugh, this like deep laughter in the background as Joe's talking.
Hang on. What? Kidnapping? Plants? What? What are you talking about?
Kidnapping plants in that order.
You heard
No,
me.
the plants aren't kidnapping anyone, Joe. Now they're spies.
I leave the
Super
receiver on
names.
for that because
Super names in the communicator.
Okay, we'll talk in a second. What I mean is I made an unlikely friend.
oh,
Oh,
with
Oh, that's not a bad Roxy. That's a good
Um,
Roxy, right?
well, teaching plants how to spy.
okay.
It's good as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just as surprised as you. Still healing, but alive and better, I guess. This is really complicated. Ugh, I still think a couple of my ribs are broken. Okay.
You made a friend. Okay, so this resolved well, I assume,
As well
Yeah,
as it
me
could,
either.
I think.
and you're coming here.
Kind of like looks at Roscoe. If you don't want him there, I think
Oh, well, yeah, external location.
junkyard.
Sure.
Junkyard.
Buy another building to have meetings. And
We're gonna have to get like a secret base at the junkyard at some
My
point.
God.
well, I guess it's open so we can see what's coming. And
We hollow out like one of the giant stacks of cars and turn it into like a little clubhouse.
A
or something.
tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Joe's
Well,
already done. He set up like a little workouts place in there so he can
Okay.
actually like use his full strength. But yeah,
Right. Are you
Joe
gonna
will
have?
turn-
Junkyard.
yeah, Joe will turn to Roscoe and tell him, we're making a stop at Siegel University, and then we're headed to Marco Brothers junkyard.
What's at Siegel University?
My dad.
All right. And he will probably have to adjust course slightly because I imagine there wasn't really a destination. So at first,
Yeah.
like coming back into the city, so he was like, "Let's go back to the Hungry Sailor," and then
Oh yeah,
is turning
Well,
down a different road to go
yeah.
to the university.
go to the Hungry Sailor, then swing by the university, and then to the junkyard. Just collect the car and the father, and
Yeah,
everybody
you
there.
can't forget the car.
Yeah,
the car is important.
Well,
really
are you-
distinctive car.
I mean, if you are going to take the car to go to the university, Roscoe would probably just go straight to the junkyard. So is that what you want to do, or a different plan there?
That makes sense, honestly.
Go ahead and do that. Just don't spook him, okay?
That towards him or us?
Towards him.
That's towards him. You cannot.
Like,
No sudden movements towards the crazy lesbians.
maybe, I guess, do your thing until I show up, just so they don't try anything, because they can be a little.
Are you still on
Come.
speaker?
No, I'm not.
No.
Okay.
Cynthia's like, what?
Yeah, we'll see. But he'll drop you off at the Hungry Sailor and then take off in the direction of the junkyard.
University. I hope. I hope Eugene is still there.
You can grab your car and head towards the university and park in front of the building again.
Yep.
You probably look like a mess.
Got, like, pine needles stuck in my hair.
Yep. You can get out and head up to your dorm room and get inside, and you probably open the door, and Eugene is probably just in the middle of like pacing back and forth across like in this small enclosed space, and he turns to face you and like hurries over to you and it's just like, what the hell happened to you?
I got thrown through a tree, and I made a friend.
That wasn't really pulling a
I'm-
Roxy, actually. It's very.
I'm not
friend
entirely
making.
sure how those two things go together.
It's complicated. There's a lot of explaining to do.
That's kind of how things have been going. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and head down to the car, and I'll like toss him the keys. I need to make a quick phone call.
All right. I think he probably like lingers in the doorway a little bit, but we'll leave and head downstairs.
And I will call Feel Good Repairs.
Hey. Okay. You call Feel Good Repairs. And the phone rings and rings and rings and rings. No one answers.
Joe considers for a second trying to call the DeMarco residence. But then, after the last call he had with Tony being out of town, he decides to not and just walks back to the car.
Okay.
With a shot.
Mm. Don't want to
And
cause
we will-
problems. Yes, I do. Okay, you get in your car.
Cause problems.
And
It explodes.
as you are
Could be a
pulling
problem.
away from the curb in your rearview mirror, you catch a glimpse of Henry.
Slam on the brakes.
Oh!
You
It's
two
gonna go
just
so well.
Whoa!
Before the car is even like fully stopped, Joe has it in park, like rips off his seatbelt and like bolts upright out of the car. Henry?
She's probably like far down the sidewalk, was obviously like headed towards the girls' dorm. And she freezes and very slowly turns around and looks at you.
Hi.
Hey, Joe.
Uh, eh, are you okay?
I'm fine. You look less so.
Long story that I'm gonna tell you. I'll explain everything, okay? It just... I'm sorry, and I messed up.
She purses her lips together and looks down at the ground. Just kind of nods a couple times.
Fix this, okay?
Not everything can be fixed, Joe. And I think she will turn and walk away.
Joe briefly hops back in the car, just parks it in the nearest parking spot he can find, and runs after her.
Oh my god.
Someone's gonna get her restraining order on you.
Oh my god.
That's not how you fix it. Roxy's just like she feels
Okay.
like she's like, I feel a disturbance in the force.
Eugene is just like, Joe, what's going on? And as you like take off. But you can run after her with your speed and strength. It does not take I mean, you're able to close the distance and catch up to her.
I do not like grab her, but I sort of step in the path.
Like get around to stand in
Yeah.
front of her.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to say anything. I've got a meeting with the team. I'm gonna tell my mom everything, and then I will tell you whatever you want to know, and I will make this right. But I want you to know that I messed up, and if at the end of this you still hate me, I won't blame you. Just... I'm sorry. I gotta go. And Joe will head back to the car and start driving before he's just like bawling on the sidewalk, unable to move.
Okay. Can run and get in the car and leave. As the rocket pulls away, we probably get a panel shot of Henry just left standing there on the sidewalk. But Roscoe probably arrives at the junkyard first. I imagine the girls are the next to arrive. I'm assuming
Would
you're all
assume we
in
went-
full costume.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't know
Cynthia,
if Sarah went with us or not, but if not, then we can do our
Probably.
normal motorcycle.
I
Oh,
mean,
look.
even
Depend
if
on whether you
Sarah
want her to be there.
did, she could have jumped on the stag. Sylvie could have flew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Elena can also fly.
Would you want
I was
Sarah
gonna
to
say
come?
we can also have 2
Probably-
people on a bike, so.
I think probably keeping
Sarah unaffiliated.
Sarah, yeah, Cynthia would probably prefer that Sarah not come with them for this one, just because of she doesn't trust this guy at all, and yeah.
And we need a secret mecha weapon. Secret mecha suit
Yes.
weapon. For
Sarah,
in case-
at that, Sarah would probably just be like, "Want me to watch from a distance?
Sure.
Keep an eye on things, offer backup if need be."
Smack him in the face with the shield.
Trap him in a box.
Oh.
Trap the
Yes.
box inside him.
Oh.
That's unfortunate.
We're getting into some morally gray territory here. Is that where you
I
want
want
to
to
go?
know the physics of how to do that, Cynthia.
Also, it depends on what size box, because I could put a box in there that'll give him some, indigestion, or it could be, it destroys guts.
Sylvie, like, for
Let's
a
not
moment,
do
when it is
that.
initially suggested, like, looks like she's gonna volunteer knowing where to dispose of the body, but then this conversation happened, and she's like, nope, never mind.
I am just
We're already
joking.
at the
We
junkyard.
still do not kill people.
All right. All of you can deploy, and Sarah will station herself on a nearby rooftop with a nice view of the junkyard. And the rest of you can arrive, and you definitely see a rusty pickup truck, like, parked in the main sort of entrance area.
Sylvie
And
is
he sees
fully...
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was like, Sylvie is fully debating getting off the stag in glitter werewolf form right now.
I was gonna say he sees a girl biker gang of superheroes.
God.
He's probably just, like, leaning up against the front of the truck, hands in his pockets. He's, like, as you approach, he's an older gentleman, has some, like, beard scruff going on, definitely has some graying hair, bit of a beer belly, and is just wearing jeans and a pretty plain black t-shirt.
Cynthia pulls up Echo pulls up a distance away, gets off. Saying anything yet?
Yeah.
This is Joe's mess as far as she's concerned. She'll help, but also don't know
But
what's
it's
going
also
on.
Joe's
so
mess.
Yeah. This man just regards all of you as you pull up and either get off your bikes and stand near them, or stay seated on your bikes, however you want to do it, and just regards all of you.
Sylvie definitely tells the bike to stay again because she knows it doesn't like werewolves that much.
No biting.
No biting.
Well, it likes one werewolf.
Roxy just gets off the bike and she's
Rude.
like, "Oh, hi, you must be Watchdog's friend. I'm Calamity." And, like, goes to shake his hand.
He'll smile a little bit at that and shake your hand and say, "Nice to meet you, Calamity. I'm Roscoe."
And what is your Roscoe? All right, nice to meet you, Roscoe.
Joe
And then we
went
all stand
to-
there awkwardly.
Yeah,
waiting
he'll
for
probably-
Joe
he'll
while
probably
he has
say-
an existential crisis.
He'll probably say Joe went to pick someone else up.
Someone else.
His dad?
We get to meet his dad. I'm so excited. And then she's just gonna make like nonsense small talk. Like, what are your feelings about plants?
So we may or may not be paying attention to this at this point.
I mean, as far as taking care of them, I'm not really that good at that, but plants are nice.
Yeah. But what if you had plants that could take care of you?
I think Cynthia's listening to this only so much as she needs to make sure Roxy's not about to die of bug and that she's checked out because no.
Those kinds of plants exist.
She doesn't even give. Well, I mean, anything can exist, right?
Good superheroes exist.
Yeah.
So
we
anything.
may or may not like be like keeping an eye on the perimeter and keeping an eye on just how close Roxy is to Roscoe as well. And if you're paying attention, you might be able to see, like, you know, when cats make biscuits and their claws come out, there's a little bit of that going on.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm just picturing Sylvie making biscuits.
Yes. Like that snow leopard with the tail in its mouth, but like making biscuits, but like also with like big scary glitter claws.
Yeah.
But Roxy doesn't really give him context for anything. She's just like babbling.
Rapid fire questions that have
Yeah.
How do you
no
feel about
relevance.
strawberry?
Yes. What if it was like coffee but strawberry?
You have all energy to go, but also is sweet and not bitter like coffee.
I feel like one of them might have packed a mug full of this.
Be up for trying it, I guess. I'm kind of just regular coffee guy. I don't really take anything real fancy in it, but
I imagine Roxy has like a thermos with mugs.
I was gonna
because
say
she's
Roxy's
her mother's
the third
daughter
one.
with like little like travel, like those little like tin mugs or whatever, and like the, you know, and she's like, well, here, try some. Like,
he takes
He's
the
absolute-
takes the cup and like sniffs it a little bit. Takes a sip. That is strawberry.
yeah. Then she offers the rest of the girls coffee. Like, just mindlessly. This is just Roxy being Roxy here.
I think as you are passing out the rest of the coffee, if anyone takes any, that is when Joe pulls up in the rocket. And you just see Roscoe with a little tiny cup in his hand.
I'm really hoping Roxy gave that to him and not Sylvie.
I mean, it could still very well be poison. Depends on how mad Roxy is.
Technically, it came from Sylvie, so.
Joe does not know that yet. Joe does not know a lot of what's been going on.
But yeah, Joe, you can get out of the car, and all of you can see he is a little messed up.
What happened to you?
Oh, disheveled.
Can Sylvie cast healing on Joe as he gets
Cast
out of
your
the car?
wounds.
Yeah.
I've never
Sure.
seen your hair so out of in a mess.
PK the cars around her a little more to
I mean,
maintain energy.
yeah. I mean, he's not like too ridiculously injured, so you can give him a nice little buff, like work out a little of that extra soreness. There's still lots of like leaves and pine cones and stuff sticking to him and in his hair, and all of that is still very mussed up.
This is very normal for Sylvie. She does not notice the leaves and pine cones stuck in his hair.
No, but Roxy does, and she's like, "What the hell?"
I feel like Joe just sort of like tries to brush some of it out of his hair and is just like, oh, screw it. That's so
Got
not
tree
important right
sap in
now.
your hair, buddy.
And then stepping out of the passenger side of the car is an older gentleman who has definitely has some resemblance to Joe. He's not super muscular, but you can tell he is fit.
Roxy's gonna run up and be like, "Oh my gosh, you must be Mr. Watch Daddy, and I'm Calamity."
No. 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 Absolutely not.
She's oblivious.
Who is the silver hoof?
You just
Der
see
Hund.
Echo face
Der
palming in the
Papa Hund.
distance.
And I'm Calamity, and this is our team, and welcome to the family. Okay.
Okay, let's maybe
Eugene.
move this conversation.
Eugene just laughs and like pats you on the shoulder.
And then she's gonna give Joe a big bear hug and pick him up off the ground.
Oh, still a little bruised.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
Good to... Wait, Rox. You're okay.
Yeah? What do you mean I'm okay?
Oh yeah, he missed a lot. We could
No,
do the
I-
catch up.
yeah.
We could do catch up later. She just kind of gestures to Roscoe.
I mean, do you not remember when I called you?
You didn't call me. You never called
Yeah,
me.
I'm
I would have
pretty
remembered
certain
if you'd called me, Joe. I've been worried sick.
Well, you also didn't remember that you were a superhero when I called you, so...
You called the other one.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
lot to catch
There's
up
two.
on.
There's two of me
There's
now.
at least two.
Apparently breaking
What do you
reality
mean there's
may
at least...
have
What?
consequences. Maybe consequences
Hi-
to breaking
what-
reality.
What do you mean there's... You know what? I'm gonna deal with that in a second here.
All right,
That's
well,
Not
what
the
we
first or
said.
last
Well,
hard
look-
conversation I'm gonna have today.
that's not really our top priority right now. You know, the two Roxy things.
Some other things. It's fine.
Wait,
There's a
then-
lot of
There's a lot. I think we should start with your new friend.
yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
this might be at the top of the priority list.
Let's move inside now. The parking lot. Don't want...
Further
Inside,
We're like
into
outside the junkyard right
junkyard.
now.
she's like, "Oh, we're in the parking lot of the junk." Yeah.
As everyone kind of like comes back to the issue at hand and everything and is going to move into like further into the junkyard, you can definitely tell like Eugene is giving Roscoe the stink eye. There's, as much as he was like good natured and laid back with Roxy, very much
You can probably
Regarding-
smell him all over Joe.
regarding Roscoe with some suspicion and distrust.
And Roxy is just gonna mindlessly chatter about strawberry coffee to Watchdog's dad and offer him some strawberry coffee.
He'll take some
Sylvie is-
strawberry coffee.
Debating releasing calming pheromones, or trying to.
Elena did not bring a gas mask to this.
We'll all be feeling
mean,
real good soon.
You can tell like there's distrust there, but
It's not escalating.
you can tell Eugene's not going to do anything rash. It is not
Okay.
to that point.
Okay.
It is just like, this is another werewolf. This person is dangerous. I do not trust him.
They're thinking about peeing on each other's legs. It's like a really territorial thing, you know? No, just
Oh,
kidding.
Lord.
Stand
Went too
marking
far.
contact.
Those claws might be staying out a little longer as Sylvie flexes her hands.
That's fair. That's fair. She's glitter wolfed, right?
No, not
No,
yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
She might be in a second. It
She just looks like
depends.
she's got like really long acrylics going on.
Yeah.
oh yeah, she's got her
Glitter
nails
acrylic,
did.
yeah.
She got her nails did.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you can find a spot further in the junkyard.
Joe just leads him to his usual haunt in the junkyard.
Roxy's
like-
gonna do a perimeter check to make sure that there's nobody looking around.
Yeah, it's
She's a little
Really quiet.
paranoid after the attempted kidnapping, you know?
Yeah.
quiet.
That's fair.
And she'll ask one of somebody. She'll be
One of-
like, "Buddy system, who's coming to do a perimeter check with me?"
Sylvie will.
Oh.
Sylvie will shift into a
Okay.
bird and
She should
perimeter
have gotten
check.
her earplugs.
Oh,
Didn't
That didn't work.
they didn't
Oh
work.
yeah, that's right.
Ear plugs?
We'll catch
Later.
you up.
It's love.
Okay. Joe sort of like takes a seat on like what would be like a bench press bench, but he's just kind of like using it like a chair.
Mhm.
So, I guess introductions first. This is this is Roscoe Schofield, otherwise known as Beta Blindside. And as of about 45 minutes ago, he's on our side.
In your head, do you hear what makes you sure?
Joe responds mentally, watch. And then he gestures to Eugene. And this is my dad, Eugene Thompson. Dad, if you wouldn't mind doing the thing.
He
Julie, do the thing.
he will shrug and take a step to the side, and he will shift. And you see a large monster version of a wolf. It's very different from Joe's form.
Puppy!
Yeah, Papa Hood.
Roxy's so excited. This is what a werewolf is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like a puppy.
Admit the
Sylvia
tail.
highly
That's a
debates
werewolf
dropping from the air because she's still in bird form as a wolf instead. Just to be like, I can do it too.
Yeah, she like does like a aerial maneuver, and then all of a sudden like it flips out of the air, and there's a glitter just wolf.
I assume there's some sort of backstory here.
More than I knew. And Joe looks at Roscoe. Told you. I wasn't lying. So,
You're sure this is an actual shift?
yeah, I mean, what other kind of shift is there?
Yeah, no, Papa could be like
Could be magic,
Valkyrie.
an illusion.
Fairly certain not an illusion. And more than that, he knew plenty about what was going on in here. He knew about the Alpha before I even told him. We're kind of the place never to go for werewolves, apparently.
So werewolves elsewhere.
Eugene shifts back into his human form. It says, typically packs are small family units.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Roxy's gonna start pulling seats of cars out of like cars for people to use as chairs.
Okay.
Then Joe turns to address Eugene. Roscoe was tasked, I'm guessing, by the Alpha, yeah? To ensure I didn't step out of line again. I had to put some faith in him, but I got through when I told him about you and what werewolves are supposed to be like.
Eugene raises an eyebrow and looks over at Roscoe, kind of just having a little bit of a staring contest.
Please do not start fighting each other. I'm really not up for another tree tossing session or whatever the heck happens in here.
Heart tossing. Remember the last time?
Yeah.
Ugh, right.
Eugene just says, I'm not planning on starting any fights.
Here you go. Here's a chair. Roxy just like tries to break the tension with awkwardness. Here's a chair for you. Here's a chair for you. More rummaging around in cars. Comes back with more car seats.
As for everybody else, that's Easy Living. Valkyrie's the bird. That's Echo, and that's Calamity.
I feel like she's actually a wolf right now.
No, she's still a bird right now.
Oh, she is a bird. Okay.
She was considering changing into a wolf.
Not to one up Watchdog's dad.
This time.
I guess, given the speculation, that probably wouldn't help at all.
No, it would not.
No.
So, y'all listened to the recording, right?
Yeah, we gotta talk about your life decisions because I feel like you're not making great ones.
I'm really not. I really haven't been, but today's gonna be hopefully the start of a few good ones.
Hopefully.
And Pete turns to Roscoe. I made a recording of the first initiation. Makes you feel any better, you destroyed the recorder when you, well, you know.
You're so stupid and so smart.
Still trying to parse which is which. But yeah, I'm guessing you guys, he says, sort of gesturing to the team, have questions.
Yeah.
I genuinely trying to begin this conversation, I think, is kind of beyond me at this point. So, I mean,
I'll go first. What the fuck were you thinking joining a cult?
I mean, technically,
I'm not sure
I
how
didn't
much
join
of a
it.
choice there was there.
There wasn't a choice.
Why didn't you
None of
tell
us.
us? What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't tell you because I didn't know who out of you I could trust yet.
Oh, jeez.
Rox, I don't know
You've
that
known
much.
me for years.
Like a year. Hasn't been that
No,
long.
you've known my brother for years, right?
I feel like there's just a glance exchange between Joe and Roscoe on that one.
And you
just
don't
like,
get to know. You don't get to know one of us without getting to know the entire family. Just ask anybody here who's met my family.
Calamity, genuinely, you're an amazing person. You can't keep your mouth shut. And I don't know who might be connected to this.
Well,
Echo, you have amazing abilities. But the fact of the matter is, I didn't really know you that well, and you just kind of showed up.
You'll note I didn't ask you to tell me.
But I'm saying that for each one of you, there was a reason that I couldn't be sure.
I still don't feel like mine is valid.
Oh god.
Rox, you can't keep
Just
just
shakes her
Calamity. You can't keep secrets to save your life.
No, his reason for you makes sense.
I mean, I didn't
She
know
pouts
that
a
much
little.
about Easy Living when I first met her either, and well, Valkyrie.
I didn't tell
Why you gotta
Valkyrie
say it
because
like that,
Valkyrie.
Joe?
I just imagined a little thing of glitter poop lands right, just barely.
Yeah, like
Ooh.
right on his
Like,
head.
right on
Close.
you.
And then I'm like, oh, never mind. I get it. Never mind.
I feel like at this point, Sylvie lands on the car behind him, like a little higher up, and then just with a slight thud, like shifts back into her superhero thing form because she just wants to be able to talk. Not yet, but
Birds can talk.
Not the bird she was,
Oh, okay, fair enough.
unfortunately.
So, I'm sorry, but I didn't know. And then we all got stuck in the other place. And my thought would be if any of you were going to slip up, it would have been then.
Slip up on what?
Like if we were like agents in the cult.
What? I'm pretty sure you have to be a wolf to get in the cult. So I'm pretty sure there's only one of us that could have possibly gotten in.
And now Joe exchanges a look with Eugene.
And she looks confused because she was talking about Sylvie, but
So
Can Sylvie try and pierce the mask on that look?
Ooh.
Sure.
do it.
yes.
What is
Yes.
Pierce the Mask is mundane.
Mundane.
Dang.
Mundane.
Nope. That was a fail. That was a 3.
Okay.
Oh, I
Look
was
at
like,
potential.
use team. Roxy's confusion will help you.
No, that's okay.
No.
Sylvie's just gonna be slightly suspicious. It's fine.
You should be. There's a lot of suspicious things happening.
Yes.
Well, we're all suspicious of you now. The trust is broken.
Fully aware.
It assumes there was trust in the first place.
That's why Echo trusts no one.
Shaky trust.
I mean, look, she was aware he was lying about some stuff, and she's probably less surprised than she should be about the extent of it. She's more right now, she's a little more worried about the fact that there's a fucking cult trying to take over the city.
That's fair.
Valid.
That is the priority, but Roxy's actually very hurt that he lied to all of them. It hurt
That
her.
tracks.
Yeah, that does make sense. She is the heart of the team.
But I'm here to be transparent.
Only because you have to be. Because we got the recording.
I literally sent you guys after the recording.
Yeah, but you don't think that Henry would have showed us the recording, really?
I don't know.
Depends
Fair
on how
enough.
mad she was.
Yeah.
She still has the mask, so who knows what she's doing, I guess.
Mask.
What
You're right.
mask?
There's masks that we're supposed to wear before we shift.
Like as a ceremonial thing, or
I don't fucking know.
Is it to protect your identities? from
Roscoe
each
just
other?
like
Or-
coughs a little bit. Is like,
Is
all-
it silly? It sounds like a
Initiates-
silly thing.
all new initiates get a mask that's sort of representative of their werewolf form.
Why?
Symbolism.
Is it
That
silly?
seems silly, but okay. I'm with Elena. But if you guys want to have werewolf Halloween parties, I'm all
Says
for
the
it.
people who are superheroes and have masks and personas. It's
It's
really
Thank
not that
you.
different.
Thing?
Thank you.
This is a very functional domino mask, if you noticed. It's very sleek, it's black, it's slimming. It goes with everything.
You're wearing fishnets, Rob.
You're not wrong.
Elena's got like a coat and a scarf over her head and her mask.
oh my god.
Old man. November's
Not
not
all
fun.
of us can make our face all fuzzy and like, you know?
But yeah, there's masks and names to go with them.
You got a cool name. What's your werewolf name? Did you at least
Well,
pick a cool one?
I guess it's not a actual werewolf name. It's just kind of what they forced me
What
to
is-
call myself.
What did you call yourself? What did you get named? I need to know if it was a good one.
Roscoe's just like, you picked your own name.
The name thing is not an actual werewolf thing. It's sort of like gesturing to Eugene. So, like,
Coyote.
yeah. Coyote.
Oh, that makes sense. You're from Arizona.
Yeah, the coyote is the desert wolf. I get it now.
Well, I mean, they're actual desert wolves, but yeah.
Then why coyote? Is it because you're a trickster? Because you lie all the time?
Ouch.
Well, you know,
She's
Well,
I'm not
mean-
wrong. So
my mask turned into a coyote, so it seemed kind of fitting.
What do you
It
mean
turned
turned into?
Yeah,
change.
They just sort of like start as like these pucks, and then you touch it, and it like carves itself.
Sylvie, is this something that you're familiar with?
Could be intention.
Can I roll anything to figure out if I have knowledge on this?
I mean, I feel like just with the extent of the magic abilities Fae have, this is something they could do, but it's not
Specific
when
stuff?
it's not restricted to the Fae.
Got it.
So
There are similar magics among my people, yes. Is it restricted to them? No. But does it eliminate them? No.
Great. So we've gotten exactly nowhere from that clue. Awesome.
It's probably not like mechanical clay, so we know we're not looking for technology people.
Uh-uh.
Didn't look like clay, it was wood.
Mechanical wood. So we
Yeah,
know we're not looking
no,
for
just-
technology.
Like
Wood.
my plants type would.
Good point.
Sounds like it's just straight up magic.
Mm-hmm.
You
It doesn't really
they tell you
matter.
think about yourself and then you touch it and that's the intention spits out into the wood.
That's
Okay.
kind of it, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of magic involved, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was just something the alpha whipped up.
Anyway,
The
so
alpha
moving
that
on.
You don't know anything about because nobody knows anything about the alpha.
Yeah, I don't know anything. Sort of gestures to Roscoe. I don't suppose.
not much. The alpha's as secretive as they portray themselves to be.
So we have no idea who the alpha is. Great.
Or Asian Roxy.
Theoretically, there is a chance if I can get eyes on the alpha in wolf form, given what I've seen of other wolves in comparison, I could backtrace it. But genetically. But I would need
So-
eyes on them.
Do we need a DNA sample for that?
No
Eyes.
eyes. Just
Getting
sight.
you into the same room as the alpha is going to be very, very difficult.
What if, just hear me out here, she could turn into a giant glitter wolf?
That'll make you
That might be more suspicious
Even more
than anything
suspicious.
else.
Yeah.
Can you do it without the glitter, Sylvie?
I have not tried it with the
Wait, you do that on purpose? I thought that was just like Fey dust that you put out. You actually like intentionally do that?
No, it's really funny because you don't like it. See, I can keep a secret. I knew that she did it on purpose.
Oh my god.
I've spent hours washing that shit out of my fur. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just shift back?
That doesn't make it go away. It's still stuck to me.
You know what? I can't talk about werewolf physics right now. I feel like this is the werewolf law conversation all over again. And we don't got time for that right now. We've got a lot of problems.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing that's not your only question.
Yeah, how many are there? We need like numbers. We need as many like if they have special ability. I don't know.
There's like 200-300, at least from what I saw.
That's a lot.
Quite
That's a
a
lot.
bit. That's a pretty big cult.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I
As
still
for-
feel like that's
Some
not
of them
enough
are
to
more
take
powerful than others, like myself.
like politically or like power level.
Yeah. How are we?
A little
Yeah.
bit of both.
Do you
Okay.
know the identities of everybody
No.
Or anybody.
outside of like the own unit that you are in charge of?
I know more identities than most. Just from my position, but I don't know who everyone is.
I feel like we would need to make a list of everybody who you know, and then that's I don't know. Cynthia's really good at plans, but I was going to say maybe just you could let us know if you feel like they could be turned or not, and then we can go from there.
Other deltas? Yeah, maybe. The betas? I mean, I got lucky with you.
The betas are already so few in number. Considering your rank, it will be difficult to recruit more.
And then gammas? I don't know, they seem pretty soldierish.
You might have a bit more luck, just based on their numbers, but I think most of the influential people will come from the deltas.
Realistically, how many individuals do you think we can turn?
If you start with people in
maybe
positions of
100?
power, you might get further.
But
That's
Give
something
me-
though.
that's a rough estimate at this point. If I have more time to think about what I know and get more information, that number could change.
Yeah. We might need like locations of like meetings and things like that because we need to just gather as much information. What do you think, Cynthia?
I think if your support is among the deltas and they're moderately to significantly less powerful than the rest of the cult, you need a lot of them.
That's why you incapacitate the betas before we get into a
start-
big battle.
Discord.
It
Through
might
stalking and possibly kidnapping, which is not meta, Cynthia. Or Echo. Sorry.
I might
She didn't
have,
say that in person. That was my fault. Shut up.
I may or may not have some allies of various natures that can help with the incapacitating higher ups if necessary.
I think we should start with getting information.
Well,
we
yeah,
don't know the extent of what we're dealing with. And considering that even those inside the cult don't know the alpha, no one knows the full extent of what they're dealing with on any level, on any side.
I have put
Does
out
he even
feelers.
exist? Like, have you seen them?
Seen him?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What if it's like the wizard?
No, there is this in Kansas. Hecate
Right,
said.
but like he was behind the curtain,
What?
remember? And he wasn't a real wizard.
Are you talking about the Wizard of
form
Oz?
is very real, I can guarantee that.
All right.
So that exists.
Focus on that later. We'll put a pin on it and come back.
If they didn't exist,
item
we
number
just have
7.
to prove they're fake, and then the whole thing kind of falls into shambles while people higher in power are trying to get control of the lower power because they're like, our whole
Power
idea was a
vacuum.
fake.
Yeah, power
But
vacuum. You
if they
create the
already-
power vacuum.
Yeah, if they exist, there's nothing we can do about that.
You've only seen the alpha in wolf form.
They don't really show up any other way.
Do they have
That's-
another form?
Preserves
That's
the
what
mystery, I
identity.
suppose.
I've only ever seen them in wolf form, and I've been around a long time.
Is it
Wolf
a
form,
full
like
wolf?
she
Like
points to, yeah, she.
like Eugene?
Well, it's
much,
closer to
much
what-
bigger.
But like also like on 4 legs with like the fluffy ears
Mm,
in the snoot.
it's more like what Roscoe's got, if you want to show him.
Show me your wolf.
I think that sort of unbidden, that deep laughter from that you recognize from the recording and Joe has heard many times kind of just bubbles up out of him, and then he shifts into this monstrous monstrous like werewolf form. So it's more
It's
standing
Hollywood
on
Werewolf.
yeah, it's
So
standing
it's-
on
it's
2
like
legs, much
Joe's,
more
but
like
But
bigger.
the
Human
the
butt?
ears and the snoot. Yeah.
And I would note he also has a tail.
yes, has a tail.
Where's your
ears,
tail,
jaw.
Joe?
Joe's face does not move, but he does cover like the back, the small of his back. I don't have a tail.
Pierce the
I
mask. I
feel
pierce
like-
the mask.
Oh,
This is a really important role.
I feel like this is like,
Okay.
for the record, pierce the mask.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not even a
My
useful
God.
one. I just want to know if he actually has a tail.
Oh no.
Oh, I rolled a 10 on the dice, and I have.
Oh, God.
Okay, so it is a 10 for me.
All right, you get to
that-
ask 3 questions.
Does he have a tail? No, just kidding.
This is what masks was meant for.
The best use of rolls ever. All
That's
right,
a
so
9
there's
for
a-
me, so I get 1, and it is literally, does he have a tail?
Are you both
Uh,
asking that?
I think that we have to ask from the question thing, so I want to say,
Oh.
what are you hiding? I think is one of the
Oh.
questions, right?
Is no.
What are
really
you really
planning?
planning?
Yeah, what are you?
How could I get your character to blank? So how could
How
I
can
get
I get your character to reveal whether or not he has a tail?
Don't make fun of it.
I would never. It's floofy and wags when you're happy.
He's
not
never gonna
floofy.
tell us. He's never gonna.
How could Sylvie specifically in this moment above him get him to determine if he has a tail or not? Specifically, she does have claws out, and they probably are like dug into the tail.
God.
He is also in his human form.
Yeah. So I'm
So,
gonna say
we can't see, we
in
can't see
human
his tail
form.
in this form.
Please do not disembowel him.
Not attack me.
She's
Like,
looking.
clearly
I was
just
thinking
put
more
those
like a
together again.
cat
Yeah,
jumping
these
on
are
his back
tails.
and making the tail stand on end. But
But he's
Yeah.
a human.
yeah, unfortunately.
Pocket
Okay,
that
I
for
actually don't
later.
need any other questions, so maybe I'll just save those for later.
Okay. But yes, there is now 3 werewolf forms. There's Joe's more wolfman form, there's Roscoe's Hollywood werewolf, and then there's Eugene's monster wolf.
And
Do they change as you get
How
older?
does this happen?
Yeah, why are you all different forms?
Well, that's kind of a complicated answer. Ostensibly, sort of gesturing to Eugene, it's supposed to change as you get older. Sort of like glance at Roscoe and give like a yeah, I know expression. But in the pack, the alpha has it set up where the higher rank you are, the better form you get.
So he's
Mm.
controlling your
And-
werewolf genetics or
Question.
Or
What
he
is it?
promote you as you age certain.
Can
Maybe.
Sylvie examine Eugene versus Roscoe versus Watchdog to look for magic specifically limiting their forms in an Unleash Your Powers roll?
Yes,
Werewolf
you
Venn
can definitely roll for
diagram.
that.
I have
Put it
We're all
on
three
gonna be
examples right now.
werewolf doctors
Yeah.
after this.
Yes, werewolf medicine.
Yeah, it's veterinary.
That is a 13.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
Dang.
Since you have 3 beautiful werewolves that you can just cross-reference right in front of you, you can tell that with Eugene, there is some level of inherent magic that is allowing this, but it is also because of like being Fae and being around magic in its origins, you can tell that this is natural.
Mhm.
It's a natural form of magic. Joe has that underlying natural magic, but there is something else, like some other influence that is tainting his form. So think like Eugene is kind of a pure white.
Mhm.
Joe is you see like the basis of pure white with black like tendrils and vines kind of creeping
Mhm.
through it. And Roscoe's form is like solid black. So there's
Okay.
definitely some sort of strong influence on his form.
This is your werewolf. This is your werewolf on Alpha. Any questions?
I don't like
Joe,
So-
magic, but something is tainting it. Roscoe, mostly taint.
Oh, yeah, that's important to know.
Sylvie describes this as best she can in human terminology for people who can't see magic.
Eugene, someone who has never done drugs. Roscoe, a heroin addict.
Joe dabbled.
Dabbled in a lie.
Oh,
The
Magic
lies
taint.
just keep coming, Joe.
Sylvie kind of goes through that, and Joe's just sort of goes.
Joe party drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
that
ecstasy.
that tracks. Oy.
Can
I
I
guess we-
take note of this magic? That not the natural one, but like the black, icky corruption
Would
type
you
magic
be
to
able
look for it?
to? Would she be able to detect? Like, if we found the source of it, would she be able to connect that, like me and the rock?
Probably.
I wonder if it's the mask.
think so.
That's causing it, because they all have to
Oh.
wear them,
Oh,
or at least
true.
the initiates do, so that can start putting like the hooks in you.
Ah, yeah, it's like the gateway drug.
Does this
I-
magic look anything familiar, like what I've seen before among the Fae? Or specifically ties among the hunt or anything?
I think it holds some similarities to some darker types of Fey magic, but it is not reminiscent of the hunt.
Okay.
Unseelie.
I think a really important question for us to ask is, what is the extent of what do we know about the plan to take the city over, and how far does it reach? Like, does it got its tendrils into like city officials, the police force, the rich and elite of the city, other superheroes, like what
Scientists.
what
scientists,
we,
hairspray factories, just
from the tape, I assume the short answer is yes, but
I mean, I don't.
details.
How many people do I have to teach gardening with Uncle Polly?
What?
Yes.
A lot.
What?
No, it's something she does as an extracurricular with Polly. They run like a master gardening class. It like specializes in fertilizers and stuff. Like what kinds of fertilizers you got to use for different kinds of
Watchdog,
roses.
we'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
It's like the werewolf lawyer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
didn't
know
get
that
that either.
My uncle is a werewolf.
We'll talk later.
We'll explain it
Attorney.
later.
Joe Shore like gestures to Eugene and Roscoe. See what I have to deal with? But I don't know how far it goes, which is why I didn't know who I could trust. I mean, Roscoe, you'd have at least a better idea, I'd think.
I mean, the short answer is Echo's correct. Yes, there is influence in all of the above. Is there? As far as I know, there is no soul control over any of those groups, though.
Do you know about the plan? What? At least some of the general idea of the plan to take over the city. Because if we had that, then we could do a better counter plan.
I don't have all the details.
Alpha just tells you what you need to know.
Pretty much. I'd say long process. I know that much.
Do you know the goal? Like werewolf safe haven or
supremacy?
Is it
more along the lines of
Jonestown
supremacy?
Hasn't happened yet, so.
Do we know?
So do they want?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Are you aware of how long this plan has been in motion?
Long enough to accrue enough people into the hundreds, so a while.
Talking like
How often do we get
decades,
recruit?
centuries. What are we talking here?
Probably more along the lines of decades.
My other question, so when you say werewolf supremacy, does that mean that they want to keep the non-werewolves as like underlings or like in slavery, or like are we talking about like a genocide situation, or are we talking about like turning all of the people into werewolves?
It's not possible to turn everyone into a werewolf.
What do you mean?
Not everyone has the potential. You have to have. You have
not
to.
Everybody is a werewolf. It's really.
Well, I don't know what that means. You got bit. Somebody bit you, and now you're a werewolf. That's what happened, right?
The bite doesn't transfer lycanthropy to everyone.
No, that's like vampire.
It awakens the power. You have to have the underlying power existing, and if you don't have that present, you can't become a werewolf.
And it turns out that's actually like genetic. That's why it's werewolf family units. It's parent to child.
Huh.
So you could have. Do they symptoms like not symptoms? Like signs show at birth and then get worse, or like teenage, like puberty, or
that's a good.
You just have to be bit, I guess. You didn't have it till you moved to Halcyon, so it would be dormant.
I will say Sylvie is now kind of looking between Joe and Roxy.
The activation.
As this and debating, but doesn't quite know what to look for in question.
Ooh, look at our genetic makeup. Quick!
To the lab.
Activate microscope power.
I don't know if there's any signs of it. Joe just sort of like looks at Eugene like.
There can occasionally be some indicators, but you can never be certain until you actually go through the process of getting bitten and the ritual.
Wait, so you do have to get bitten, but it's not a virus. It's not like rabies or,
Correct.
I mean, obviously not like rabies, but I'm just saying, like.
Activates the latent abilities that would otherwise go on.
But if this.
It awakens the dormant abilities.
Yeah.
Pack is somehow they're recruiting the right people, so the alpha might have a way to detect.
Yeah, how are they determining which families have the werewolf genes?
It could be in your genetic makeup, and maybe the alpha has high doctor position, high medical position, and somehow gets access to all DNA in the entire city.
Roscoe,
there's-
Roscoe says, well, they have the ability to control a werewolf's control, their ability to shift and change, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have some way to determine what underlying potential exists within a person.
Oh,
Which
I
is
thought
another
maybe they just had a
reason-
different smell.
Which is another reason I was being so careful, because if I stepped out of line, they could do anything to me.
They can
Okay.
control you?
Yeah.
Well, that's another potential problem.
Two people who can be controlled? Oh my god.
Do they
Oh,
say
back.
something to you before she stops talking to Watchdog and turns to Roscoe? Do they say something to him to make him not be able to turn the robot?
There's no audio cue.
is there a scent trigger? I know it
It's
sounds like one of your individuals utilizes pheromones.
Aroma.
aroma.
It does not involve scent, no.
She's an asshole.
So,
Mm,
I
So-
understand why you decided to
She's
keep most of this
egotistical.
from us, but if you are an active threat, why?
I wasn't an active threat so long as I didn't raise suspicion. So long as I stayed in line, because that's how the pack works.
but
And
what
this
if?
superheroing doesn't count as being out of line?
Oh no, they don't like that. But the fact of the matter is that's also kind of protection for me.
Is it though?
Visible, I'm noticeable. If something happens to me, somebody notices.
but you're also visible, noticeable to the pack, and could be used to send a message very quickly.
Also, you could be used as a an agent who is just like activated to kill us all. Did you ever think
Right.
about that?
Calamity.
Did you ever think about
Calamity.
Calamity. I really
I-
can't talk on that one.
We're not projecting right now.
I didn't know, so that's different.
That is
I-
fair.
Because you
I
know
had
I would
thought
have
about
told
it.
you if I had known.
I had thought about that, and that's why I never asked for Sylvie to be taken off the team. 'Cause I
Why
knew
would you even ask for that?
Because she's terrifying, but I know you can take me down if need be.
Are you kidding me? She's gorgeous. What do you
Be-
mean she's terrifying? She look at that face. She's gorgeous.
Being afraid of
doesn't-
somebody
It's not a
would
valid
not be
reason.
grounds for removing them from the team.
Yeah.
Oh, I have issues with the removal from the team comment, but I understand the second aspect of the comment. It is not because he was afraid. The aspect of being able to take him down, which debatable, was more so
Oh, you mean with the
last
scent?
chance
With
option
the,
if
with the
the worst
pheromones.
were to happen. Not so much the reason why.
To be fair, she had to do that to me too. So whatever.
provided you
It
weren't
happens.
aroma, because you're literally a shapeshifter, and I didn't know for a couple weeks whether or not you weren't the same person.
Oh, that makes different. That's different. Okay, I understand more. But also that would have been awkward for you to ask for her to leave because you would have had to explain why that was a problem. I feel like the only reason that we would have considered it if you had been like, yeah, she's running a werewolf cult and like is forcing me to do stuff. Like then we might consider it, but the rest of it is not really a valid reason to get rid of Sylvie. But also I can
related
take you down too, Joe. Easy
to
peasy.
aroma. We might be looking into
Yeah, we're trying
options
to
to handle
neutralize.
that.
We're trying to neutralize the scent by using Sylvie's pheromones as like
Yeah,
a base for the chemistry.
Good
I have
luck
a
with
very
that.
good chemist working on it.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. She puts Sylvie to shame in regards to what she can do with that.
How do you know Sylvie just hasn't used the full extent of her powers?
Yeah.
I guess I don't, but I've never.
We are asking her to be ethical a lot of the time.
We do ask her, and
Most
she
of
does
the
a really
time.
good job considering she comes from a completely different culture with different ethics and morals and stuff. I feel like she does a really good job.
These two poor men
Sweden.
who are just sitting in on this
Elena clarifies and
conversation.
says Sweden.
Also, I want to point out, Joe, that she's never actively pheromoned you. So you don't actually know what actively, like her, you just get like a secondhand, like normal pheromones. You've never had like the full extent of it. And I tell you, it packs a punch.
Very
Wait, what?
strange argument.
When did
This is-
you? Oh my
It's a
gosh.
whole thing.
It's a long
I'll tell you
story.
later.
I can tell you about it afterwards, but there's something wrong with my brain.
I don't think anyone other than the other two werewolves at the scene can hear this, but I think Joe whispers under his breath, "Could have told you that."
Careful, Joe. Remember what happened when we had last time.
Anyway, it was more than just like getting mind whammied. She could like make the air poisonous.
Oh.
And then there was the whole thing when the Alpha was talking and she was psychologically breaking me.
How was she doing that? Was she just like, was it psychological torture?
She smelled that bad.
I don't know how else to
Ooh,
put
you
it
know?
other than she sent the scent of depression and fear at me. I mean, if it hadn't been for Growl,
You have a friend in the cult named Growl.
Growl.
he
What?
chose the name.
That's worse than
Silly
Coyote. All right.
You thought yours was bad.
I don't think mine's
And-
bad.
Yours makes sense.
I think mine's kind of
Whatever.
cool,
It
actually.
doesn't even matter. So she was psychologically breaking you by making you smell like depression. As if you haven't smelled like depression before, Joe.
What I'm getting at is that she can just do that at a distance. She was across the room.
I'm not convinced that she could make me depressed. I feel like you have to have a genetic predisposition for depression.
I feel like Joe like slowly looks at Eugene on that one.
Eugene is
But it
just like,
doesn't matter because we're gonna wear gas masks, I'm pretty sure.
I hope that's
Okay.
enough.
There's also the possibility we've found, assuming that, of course, Aroma is vastly above my level, we have found technology that can amplify abilities.
Oh yeah.
If
Oh.
nothing else, I could potentially focus
Those are
on
crazy
a
eyes.
nullifier. It's fine.
Calamity's just thinking about how far she could throw a smelly werewolf if she had to amplify her.
Ugh,
That's
We
going on in Roxy's
probably
brain right
want
now. With like
to
a
test that
smiler.
a lot, because I'm gonna be honest, if that doesn't work like how we planned, she might just kill us before we can even get to the Alpha.
Well, we're working on getting Rampage on board, and I don't know that Tempest is ready for it. I don't know why you get to make friends with certain enemies and I don't get to make friends with other enemies. I don't know. I don't understand why that's okay in your brain, Joe.
One of these was a choice made in desperation and a risky gamble. The other one was just because you decided to do it.
It was to save collateral damage. We had enough bad PR for one lifetime, all right?
Listen, I'm not faulting you for trying to redeem her. I'm just saying that.
Also, this
whole situation is just kind of fucked, so let's
maybe be a little less judgy now that you've done the same thing, though. You know?
I'm trying, okay? It's just a
lot.
Because
otherwise, you're a hypocrite, and I am gonna have a
I am well aware I'm a hypocrite, okay?
Woo! That's progress. Good job. High five. Good self-reflection.
I'm
This is
well
maybe not the time.
aware.
Self-reflect later.
Okay.
Kind of
Anyways,
in large cult.
no offense,
problem.
Roscoe. I'm all for making new friends.
None taken.
I have a problem with hypocrisy. That's all. Anyways, moving on. So did we know which part of the plan? Was it like the genocide, the slavery, or the... Obviously, it can't be like turn everybody into werewolves because not everybody is a werewolf.
More on the slavery submission end of things. No interest in genocide.
Well,
Okay, well,
that's something.
slavery's slightly better than genocide, but only slightly.
It's
They
basically
want
what
it.
the
They're gonna
pack
have to
already
fight
is.
all the other cults and secret societies for it.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a hard no for me. The whole slavery thing.
I don't think they particularly care about anyone else's opinions.
Yeah,
It's
they
kind of
might
the
care
whole point
more
of a
if I
cult.
throw them 3 blocks away, though.
I do think it's probably
There's like
tough to make
200
them
of them, though.
compare.
Yeah, it would take me a while to throw them all, but I could throw a lot of people a long way.
Why don't we start coming up with a plan to counter 200, and if the worst comes to worst, pull in
Well, if they can
plan to pull in friends.
Well, if they can control all of the other werewolves, then turning them doesn't really matter unless there's some sort of inherent magic that having the allegiance gives the werewolf alpha, whatever, president.
I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, you're kind of right. Any werewolf, maybe even you, Dad, might not be usable against the alpha. Not to mention the fact that the people who are in the pack, they didn't join willingly. I don't think any of us did.
So, what you're saying is that we have to fight 300, plus you, plus Roscoe, plus possibly your dad.
No, what?
I'm trying to understand because we might have to lock you up if we fight him then. Because I don't really want to have to fight all of you.
Why were
in
you
addition.
saying you had to fight me then?
Well, if he can control you and like you go in with us, you'll turn on us. So then we have to fight you.
I'm saying don't do that. I'm saying put me in a box for a night or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that
can
part
do
is
that.
easy. We have a whole.
Do we know the extent of Alpha's control, though? Because if Alpha can control you from across the city,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind
our
strong
of
enough box and
containment-
it doesn't matter.
true.
Just because the alpha can control you doesn't mean you necessarily will become more powerful. Could happen, but depending on the numbers, can't.
So
I would be doubtful that they are strong enough to make 300 members of a pack as strong as the betas.
So essentially, we need to fight 298 werewolves of varying strengths.
Yes.
Or we gotta
What
turn
kung
the
fu movie is
betas.
this?
Wait, so are you
Well-
Roscoe, are you saying that
Kung fu movie.
so the alpha basically assumes control of the betas, and then the betas assume control of the people under them. So if
Well,
we fuck up the
It's a
hierarchy,
pyramid scheme.
yes,
Hmm.
it's a
That's-
werewolf MLM.
That's the general power structure, but we do not. I do not have the capabilities of magically boosting somebody else. I can't make somebody else stronger or increase their power.
But can you force them to submit?
In a way,
Without
mean,
brute
like,
force.
if I'm the stronger wolf, yes.
All right. So that's not like a power to make them just submit. It's just like I could beat you up into submission, or
Mhm.
I'm tougher than you and I'll scare you so that you don't fight me,
Yes.
which I can do myself. Don't worry. Very
I mean,
easily.
What? Oh,
You can
Sorry.
hide other people, right? We could try using that. I
I
didn't
can't make
actually-
people disappear, but I can
what
make it difficult to detect people.
Yeah.
abilities are we facing among the more gifted individuals and or betas?
Well, the alpha's all-powerful mage, whatever the heck that could entail, and
Ah,
werewolf
I-
mind control.
There are more wizards.
there are werewolf wizards.
What do you mean more wizards? What did I miss?
The man in Kansas.
What about the man in Kansas?
He's a
Don't
wizard.
worry about it. We'll talk about it later.
Oh my gosh, why did I start with you guys?
Toby.
Eugene's
Alright.
just
I
like, you must
think-
really like the Wizard of Oz.
I agree with Valkyrie.
Only
We should
seen
be
it
starting
once.
with information and learning what the beta's abilities are, or figuring them out when we don't know seems to be the best first step we can take.
And basis of that operation, so we can do some surveillance and reconnaissance, and then things like that, like just all the information that you have. Really, there's no bad information.
I mean, now that I know what the magic tainting them looks like, I can keep an eye out for it within the city and see if there's a congregation in any specific area.
Be careful, because, well, I mean, keep in mind, I'm lowest rank, and everyone above me's got better abilities, including better senses. So,
That sucks for you.
yeah,
I
you're
don't
telling
think
me.
that was the point.
So what does your friend Growl do?
I'm
Is
just
he
trying to validate him.
grrr?
He's
Is that his
he's
ability?
same rank as me.
So he doesn't have any special abilities either. Just
Aside
claws and
from
teeth and
being
fur.
pretty clever in regards to getting around the alpha. No, not really.
Clever. What do you mean about that?
Well,
How does he get around the alpha? What do you mean?
the alpha told us we couldn't talk. So he thought fast and wrote a message to me to help me. Meanwhile, I was seconds away from just giving up. He's a smart guy. And in case it isn't obvious, he's on our side.
Sounds like
That's
it means
cool.
a lot to you.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool so far.
We'd love to meet him.
Maybe I'll introduce you someday, but for the time being, he's He's even more paranoid about his real name than me.
Does Joe make that face in character?
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna take that second Pierce the Mask
God.
check.
Okay.
I love that our only thing that we've rolled for is just Pierce Joe's mask.
You haven't done
Interview
it
the
enough.
werewolf. Oh my gosh, that needs to be the name of this episode. Interview with a werewolf.
Interview with a werewolf.
That is an 11 to Pierce Joe's mask.
Ooh.
All right,
Wow.
you get to ask
Fancy.
Get it,
three.
Selby.
All right.
Where's Pierce the Mask? I guess. How can I get your character to confirm who Growl is?
You would have to convince him that revealing the identity would be less harmful than keeping it a secret.
What do you want Sylvie to do in this moment in regards to this line?
Stop
Stop
asking so
asking
many
questions about
questions.
Growl.
Partially that. Partially, in a strange way, Joe's kind of happy you're here because he thinks you're the best chance the team's got against the pack.
Sylvie?
Mhm.
And I guess, what is Joe planning in retaliation, like in regards to the pack? Like, how is he planning about going through or going about this attack?
He does not have much of a plan in regards to the attack. It's pretty clear that he 100% is like, yes, lock me in a cage until this is dealt with, because I am a hazard in regards to this.
Roxy feels like this is so uncharacteristic of Joe, but also like she's like, well, we have additional problems too, but where cages might be necessary for more than one of us. Anyways, moving forward.
Oops,
Roscoe,
all
what-
sleeper agents.
Oops, all sleeper agents.
I mean, there's a good chance of that. I'm not saying no.
Let's see. Elena's working for the aliens. Sylvie's working for the Fae. Echo's working for normal accidentally.
Ugh.
Like brainwashing or something.
Roxy is
I
working for
don't
some
think so. I
unnamed
think
organization.
she's working for an underground like superhero saving, like superpowered saving network or something. That's what I would say. And
No.
then yeah, we don't know who Roxy's working for. We have no fucking idea. That's terrifying.
Some shadow
That's
organization.
somehow worse.
Yeah.
It's actually
The
worse than
hairspray
the
people.
aliens or the Fae. Anyways, so yeah, she just like she glosses over the fact that she just said that. Moving on, Roscoe. So you probably have a better idea of all the different like superpower wolf people abilities that we're gonna encounter. So like what maybe you could help us understand so that we can best prepare ourselves with more than just gas masks.
And now it's time for something that I didn't even know, because I left the number and abilities of the betas completely to Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the most formidable, well, one of the most formidable people is Beta Aroma, with her abilities to influence sense, pheromones, the people around her.
Does
I
that only work on wolves or does it work on everybody?
Safe
That
to
I'm
assume
not
everybody.
sure of.
That That's interesting.
I've only interacted with her in wolf form and around other wolves. So,
Gotcha. I just feel like it's an important distinction for us to know because we're not wolves.
And if it's only wolf-based, Sylvie's pheromones might not be a valid counter either.
Well, we know that Sylvie's work on wolves. They work on everybody.
Yeah.
So.
myself, I can mask the senses. Makes it more difficult to tell where people are. Obviously, most effective against wolves with their heightened senses, but
Can you
Could
mask
help.
people's sense of smell?
Yeah.
So could you then protect people from aromas, scent stuff? In theory.
Sort of like looks at Roscoe like, maybe?
We could test that.
that I cannot guarantee one way or the other.
We can test
We
that.
could test it right
With
now.
pheromones.
I mean, just masking someone's scent on a base level is one thing, but against someone as powerful as Aroma, I don't even know the full extent of her powers.
How far would you
So I
say
wouldn't be
that
able to validate whether Valkyrie's abilities match hers.
Okay.
That's true.
how far would you say her scent like just across the room?
I mean, from what I
It's-
experienced, she's got some range.
The room we were in during the initiation was large.
Can
But-
she emit this scent when she's unconscious?
Possibly. I imagine it might just be whatever scent she was emitting when she fell unconscious. I doubt she would have the same kind of control since she wouldn't know
Yeah.
what was going on.
What if
Okay.
if the wind is against her? Does that affect her power?
Yeah, dissipate the
Not that
scent.
I've noticed.
We just
Hmm.
need leaf blowers. That is her ultimate kryptonite. Leaf blowers.
It's magic. Something tells me it's not going to exactly work on physics.
You never know.
That's fair. Anyways, so we've got the scent power. You can do masking. Any other powers notable?
And this is where I say I have not prepared that yet, so I don't know.
Hey.
You have run into
Yeah,
a
these
wall
people.
of this has not been prepared by the GM.
Yes.
So ask that question later.
Yeah.
You've run into the wall of to be determined. I will get that information to you.
Roscoe probably is like,
Roscoe's
I'll
gonna
give you
go
a
put together a
list.
file.
Yeah.
A dossier.
Yes.
Gotta say,
Do we know
Roscoe's just
about-
like, I'll go get my file.
I can
Which
at least, I can at least
Pulls out a
Immediately
fucking
goes
Rolodex.
I can at
into
least,
Hecate's
name drop
files.
Yeah.
one other
Yeah.
beta, but I haven't outlined their powers yet, which is Beta Chide.
Ooh.
For a hot second there, I thought you were going to say Chad, and I was real concerned.
Beta
I was gonna
Chad.
say-
He's
Oh,
the
Lord.
mascot.
Gosh. He's
But-
the bro wolf.
Have been going for a while, so we should probably
Yeah.
take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up with whatever remains of this conversation when we get back. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Hey, this might come out as total madness, but just wait. I really need to tell you something. 'Cause I feel alone in a room, surrounded by people I wanna know. If you're feeling it too, out on the roof, here with you, it all seems so distant. With you, under street lights right next to the skyline. With you,
maintain them. She's like, good to know they hold up against super strength.
Yeah. It means that they'll hold up against werewolves, because, well, I guess I don't know about that alpha guy, but like, I'm stronger than Watchdog, and I think it chafes him a little.
Are you sure it's not the chaps?
The chaps could chafe. I haven't asked. I think that the hair protects him from that chafing. It's more emotional chafing that gets to him, you know?
You know what emotional shields are called?
What are they?
Boundaries.
That's so true.
And he's my sire. Which
Yeah,
apparently is not a werewolf thing, but you know what? We're gonna discuss that later, because that's a whole other can of worms that's been recently opened that really should be discussed in person, among other things.
If you don't call back in an hour and it turns out you're dead and you never get to explain that cryptic ass statement to me, I'm going to find a way to resurrect your ass just to make you tell me.
Don't worry, I've already kind of set it up that if something does happen to me, you'll get the full story. But
on one hand, I respect the thinking ahead. On the other hand, what the fuck, dude?
See, this makes a lot of sense.
You want to do good, but have interesting methods of going about it.
Well, so
he's straight-laced.
Okay, that's a better word. I was gonna say, I feel like sometimes Joe's principles get in the way of doing good.
Because you didn't go to school with him, you would have had the same principle.
Grabs Elena by the face and like kisses her on the mouth. Like, I love you so much.
When you feel like it's over and nothing else matters, I know you feel so divided. Pick yourself up again and you better start walk, girl. Open up your step, hear you talk, girl. You have come too far to give it up now, even though it seems there's no way out. Take a look in the mirror now, what do you see? You can be anything you want to be, you know. You will never be alone. Girl, go make your move. There's nothing left to prove. I know that you will find your love again. Don't be ashamed to cry. Hold your head up high. I know that love will save the day. When you feel like you're stranded at the edge of the world, I know you've been taken for granted. Give some love to yourself and you better start walk, girl. Open up your step and hear you talk, girl. You have come too far to give it up now, even though it seems there's no way out. Take a look in the mirror now, what do you see? You can be anything you want to be.
Come, show me light, show me love, show me light, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love, this is all we got. Show me light, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love, this is all we top will push you down. Make you fall onto the ground. But I know you will turn it around. Oh, this is all we got. And I know you'll make mistakes. Get interference and lose your way. Find the light when it rains. Oh, this is all we got. Show me light, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love. Show me light, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. 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 Show me love. Show me light. Show me love. This is all we got.
Hey, this might come out as total madness, but just wait. I really need to tell you something. 'Cause I feel alone in a room, surrounded by people. I wanna know if you're feeling it too. Out on the roof, here with you, it all seems so distant. With you, under street lights, right next to the skyline. With you.
All right.
So
What
anyway, the
else?
continuing emotional trauma of Joe.
Yeah. What else you want to talk about?
I mean, my dad and Roscoe are here, but I'm guessing you guys have other questions for me.
Well, yeah, but I need to circle back to the alpha's powers specifically. I know he can like make you do stuff like shift or whatever, but like any other specific powers like super strength, super speed. I mean, he probably has super smell, super hearing, but you know.
Well, I mean, they're 20 feet tall, so I would guess super strength.
20 feet tall?
That would have been
You should have led with that.
yeah.
That's like a
20-foot
giant
tall
wolf,
wolf.
sir.
I mean, they're more like Roscoe than my dad, but
You said like Roscoe, but bigger. I thought maybe like 8 feet tall. Like, what is Roscoe? I don't know. I didn't really like. Maybe you're okay. So like maybe like 10 feet tall, but like 20 feet. That's like a whole. That's a lot.
I don't
That's a
know if
lot.
I can out kaiju the alpha.
Yeah.
I love this mental image.
What if?
Sarah might.
Never mind. I think
What was that?
this is too weird.
Oh yeah.
I said Sarah might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mech
We should-
versus wolf.
Yeah.
No, but like we have to
Specific
get her
room.
a Godzilla mech suit.
Oh my God.
Godzilla does not
Good one.
exist yet.
I don't
It's,
care. We're inventing
We
Godzilla
invent
today.
Godzilla.
What's that?
Yeah.
Or like a year too early for.
What is it? Like Rex the dinosaur from Rugrats? What's his
Mm.
name?
Reptar.
Rex Reptar, thank
Oh
you.
my God.
Yes.
Knock off Godzilla.
Well, we'll make it like a Power Rangers mech suit, like when they had their dinosaur, like mega.
So, yeah, they're, 20 feet tall, but
That would have been helpful to know.
I assume they've got like all the usual werewolf abilities, but that would also mean same weaknesses. Super loud sounds, strong smells, silver.
Silva.
Yeah.
Roxy pretends to get a notebook out because she doesn't have a notebook and writes that down on like,
It's
okay,
not,
so super loud sounds, that's something we can do.
I mean, it's the hearing thing. Like,
Yeah, no, make y'all deaf. Gotcha.
I've kind of learned to tune out a lot of stuff just because, well, city.
It's a necessity.
But a loud sound a little too close to the ear, it's pretty debilitating if you do it right.
Is there a specific frequency?
That was a good question because I was going to ask if you make it high enough pitch or low enough pitch, will it do more damage? Like they got those dog whistles that we use on Gus.
I mean, hypothetically, I can hear in some of those ranges, but I mean, I wouldn't know it.
Gotcha. I'll have to get Gus's dog whistle and we'll try it.
And I mean,
Anyways.
I know from my dad that silver is not a normal werewolf thing, so maybe that's got something to do with that weird
With the corruptive
magic.
magic.
Huh. We could probably do something fun with chemistry with that. We can ask a team chemist.
Please
Avoids
tell me
making
you
eye
didn't.
contact with Joe.
Please tell me you didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, moving on. So Silva, are there any other werewolf weaknesses?
I mean, y'all have seen my healing factor in action.
That's not a weakness, that's a strength.
It is a
Well,
good to
weakness
know.
that if he can't shift forms, though, he can't heal.
Oh, is
exactly.
that how you heal? I've never seen you heal.
How Roscoe got bigger when he shifted, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have questions about how your clothes don't rip. Do you have to wear super stretchy stuff like us?
They can rip.
Are you
We just-
asking?
I'm asking Roscoe because he got way bigger. Joe's wolf isn't that much. His wolf arm's bigger, but not.
He
that
also
much
wears
bigger.
athletic shorts when he
Yeah.
shifts.
Yeah, and t-shirts, which are can be stretchier.
You wear something baggy enough, it's not a problem.
Okay, just curious.
Gotta get a werewolf. in the
But
Eugene, where do your clothes go when you
Eugene's
shift?
clothes just disappeared.
And they
they
reappear.
become part of the wolf.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have
That's-
questions about that, but that's probably a moot point right now.
Yeah, actually, hang on. How does that work? I didn't even think about that.
I don't really have a good
Magic.
explanation for that. Probably just the inherent magic of the
I
transformation.
was about to say Sylvie will confirm it's magic because her clothes just disappear and reappear when she's shifting.
Some of your
so-
clothes
That's fair.
Sylvia, if we're being honest, some of your clothes are made out of plants, so I
That's
don't know.
also true. I didn't just know.
I
mean,
just assume you regrew your clothes.
cotton's a plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
How big was Roscoe before he shifted?
He's a pretty big guy, like 6 feet tall.
He's
Mm.
higher than Joe.
To 6'5".
Yeah.
And he got 12 feet big when he werewolfed.
Not 12 feet, probably more like
10.
8 to
9.
10. Yeah.
And Joe, what, 7 feet, maybe? Just a few
Joe
inches.
tops out at 7.5-ish.
Yeah.
If you ever really stretch him out. Because just with how the werewolf body is shaped, they have a tendency to slouch.
Mhm.
So
If we made
the
him sit
alpha is
straight-
20 feet tall. And he
Mhm.
was taller than Joe. And now he's 2 more feet bigger. So this person would have to be 18 feet unless they can just That's
again,
just what happens.
they're supposed to be like some super wizard. Like, who knows?
I don't.
If there's
I'm not
Werewolf
sure that that's
Wizard,
quite the
then that
same.
might be causing illusion. So-
Yeah, I don't think that a wizard and a mage
If we could
are
take out-
all the same.
Their wizard, that might be part of
But it's
kind
also
of break the illusion and cause the discourse. But
Yeah.
if he's controlling people, then that might be moot.
It's also magic, and that doesn't necessarily follow the conservation of mass.
Yeah, like physics don't exist with magic as much.
Oh, the privilege
Physics don't exist
exchange.
here, and she just kind of starts floating.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're like the antithesis to physics, sweetheart.
The anti-physics.
The anti-physics.
true. Our team has a relatively loose relationship with physics in general.
Yes.
Barely
Yeah,
have
that's
a
a good point.
relationship with thermodynamics.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alpha's huge, mind control, supposedly a lot of magic. They also
seen it,
might
though?
have a. Well, no, but I mean, Sylvie just saw it.
No, I mean, like, have you seen his magic? Like throwing, like, I don't know, like making an illusion, or like teleporting, or like whatever.
I saw them force the whole pack to change with like a wave of their hand.
Was that before or after
Oh.
you put on?
And I suppose there was also, the initiation proper, but
They
That was only
tend to
kind of-
appear at meetings without anyone seeing them.
yeah, they do that.
So invisibility.
Be various forms of stealth, but we also are aware of certain entities that have the ability to access portals.
That's true.
I mean,
we
if
do
they're
have-
teleporting in, it's a slick thing. No one ever sees them come or go.
Yeah, that's true.
With
When I
the
opened the portal,
invisibility.
it was a lot more like intensive.
Very
and,
visible.
Like,
That-
everybody knew.
Being said, they could also sneak in with the lower ranks and
Yeah,
up
what if they
here
change-
with when
What if they change form?
choose
Yeah.
him to be
I assume they're a werewolf, so yeah, they would have some kind of human form.
indescript.
Hmm.
No, I'm saying like,
Nondescript.
what if they could have like your form, Joe, like a similar to your form, and then just kind of like creep in, and then go big wolf, like that.
I mean, he sort of like looks between Eugene and Roscoe. Is that possible? Can you just change into lower quote unquote forms?
If you're a mage, you probably could.
Eugene says, with non-corrupted wolf forms, the growth is a linear progression. There's no ability to revert back to a previous form, since it comes with age and maturity. It'd be the same thing as asking an adult to appear as a 6-year-old kid. It's just not something that happens.
Well, usually. This is
Usually.
Halcyon.
Roscoe says, I don't really have much I'd be able to offer. I can't alter my form, but there's a lot of unknowns surrounding the alpha, so there's nothing we can... there's no way we can really guarantee that's not something that's impossible.
As another tick for the Fey box, changelings exist.
I mean,
As
them being a shapeshifter would kind of track.
I don't wanna think about
I
that.
can't necessarily say that
Wait.
it would not be out of range of a certain powerful individual's ability to assume the figure of another being.
That
Maybe
could
that's
be
what-
the wizard, though. The alpha could just be a puppet figure. Like they walk in with everybody because they
Mm.
look normal size, and then the wizard
Mm.
does the mumbo jumbo.
There's a guy behind the curtain. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that makes sense. Also,
Ignore it for now, just ignore it for now.
how do you become the alpha? Like, what's the werewolf culture process? She's like looking at Roscoe and Eugene because
Well,
she
you
doesn't
started
think that Joe
the
knows a lot about culture of werewolves.
Eugene is just
started the
like, we
cult.
don't have rankings in
Oh,
normal packs. There's no
just like elder ranking, like
alpha.
family ranking.
so it's just like whoever's kind of the head of household, or like,
Essentially.
Got it. Okay.
Like parents looking after their children, and children grow up and they can go off and form their own packs and start their own families.
That makes sense. Do you like, is it extended family, or is it just like your nuclear family? Like
It can be even and it can be more of a community aspect where you have your immediate packs and then
like Italians.
several
Again, there's just kind of this.
and several packs might collectively oversee an area of land and cooperate with each other to make sure the peace is kept and we're kept safe, and
yeah, that makes
all
sense.
of those aspects.
Which, for all we know, is what Halcyon was like before the Alpha moved in.
When Joe makes his like exasperated noise about the Italians comment, I can guarantee he looks up at Sylvie and she has an eyebrow quirked. Like,
Pretend not to see.
You were a part of the werewolf mafia.
The whole time.
it's even worse.
The hypocrisy just keeps growing. So yeah, I guess so. There's no like process to challenge for like alpha anything.
I mean,
Not in
if
our
you
pack
listen,
since there isn't an alpha, but Roscoe also chimes in and says there have been people who've been foolish enough to try and fight for more power or a higher ranking. It has not gone well for them.
Is that how somebody moves up the ranks? They gotta fight?
Not solely. Usually if someone makes a big enough fuss and wants to obtain a higher ranking, they can try and make a quick move of it by challenging someone more powerful to a fight, but often rankings are given based on power level. If you get stronger and can prove you're stronger and prove your loyalty to the pack and the alpha's wishes, that also is in your favor in gaining a higher ranking.
If werewolf forms are tied to rank, is the alpha the one who's in control of changing those forms?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Alpha is the one who gives the betas their abilities, which could mean that the Alpha has all of them. Which is
Do we know if the alpha has any weaknesses? Do we know if the same weaknesses apply to the alpha that apply to other wolves?
Me and Growl have been trying to figure that out for over a year now. We haven't found anything concrete.
The alpha wouldn't be quite so mysterious if we had an inkling of their powers and weaknesses.
Do you have the ability to mask non-wolves, Roscoe?
Yes.
I'm just asking for reconnaissance purposes, like if there was like a werewolf meeting and we wanted to gain information. What might that look like?
If there's a werewolf meeting of any importance, I would probably be in attendance. So I would be able to report back. Trying to sneak anyone who is not part of the pack in would be
that's too dangerous.
Dangerous and stupid.
Yeah.
What if they were a bug?
What if they were a bug?
What if they were a bug?
What if they were a pocket mouse or a bug?
Bug would be much smaller. Movie.
Yeah,
I would.
A tick.
I think I would need to see what that looks like and how that might be picked up by the senses first.
Everybody
Like,
just looks at Sylvie.
Sylvie like immediately tries to transform into a bug, which
Do
We've
this.
not
very well.
Getting
successfully
another
done yet,
Cronenberg
so
monster
yeah.
of just like limbs and bug parts.
Dundee.
And I still don't do it because my dice hated me for that one.
Uh-oh.
what'd you get?
That was a 6.
Okay.
Ooh. Wait.
Well,
you use
wait.
team?
Yes,
Okay.
team could be used here.
Depends on how you would be helping in this situation.
I would be Roxy explaining what a bug looks like.
Roxy's
And how big it
describing
is.
the bug she wants Sylvie to
Uh-huh. How does Roxy explain this?
Oh god.
So it's like this,
Here we
like
go.
this big, like this, and then
Oh, boy.
I'm you. So it's like a little dome creature because she's describing a ladybug,
Dome
and it's-
creature.
and it's red, but you could make it red glitter if you wanted. And then it's got little black spots on it, and it's got 6 legs, and they're black, and like their eyeballs. They've got like 2 eyeballs, and they're black, but then there's like white in between, and Then they have like their little dome. It splits in half, right? And then there's wings under that, and they're black, but they're like
I-
tiny dragonfly wings.
I like to think that as Roxy's describing this, Sylvie's changing in like bits and pieces.
Yes.
All
Just
right.
like trying to adjust
like
to the
adjusting the
description.
form.
Would you like to mark a condition, or I can tell you how it's unstable or temporary?
I feel like Sylvie's so frustrated with this. I will take a condition.
Do you have any marked?
She's afraid.
I
I feel like
feel like-
insecure might
was
work.
gonna say insecure or hopeless, just being frustrated by this situation.
I feel like she's probably insecure because this is in front of 2 people that she's never met before.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead and mark insecure.
I love this.
But you
Bug has been achieved.
become a glitter ladybug.
Exoskeletons are hard, man.
Mhm.
Are.
You gotta push
It is
all
kind
the
of the
bones to
point.
the outside.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just not great at invertebrates, guys.
It's fair.
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing a glitter octopus now.
Yes,
Next
Mm-hmm.
time that's the goal.
with a glitter beak.
You should shoot glitter instead of ink.
Yeah.
Glitter ink.
Blank, if you will.
Charlie's like,
Just
I'm
an
gonna kill you
octopus
all.
glitter pen.
Yeah.
Glitter gel pen.
Yeah.
Put a
uh-huh.
pen in each tentacle and then
Yeah, it's different
We've
colors.
invented
Modern
glitter
art.
gel pens.
Yes.
We have so thoroughly
right.
derailed this.
We are
Yep.
truly innovators of our time.
All
for
right.
what it's worth, Cynthia doesn't have more questions.
Okay.
In regards to a
meetings.
meeting, I mean, one is coming up in the spring.
On the full moon?
We have more than just initiations,
Hmm.
but
Oh, yeah, I
you're
guess I'm
not exactly
invited
privy to
those.
that yet.
All
'Cause
right.
That's something to clear up. I'm technically not part of the pack yet.
What does that mean?
He's initiate. He has to go through more, probably more rigorous,
Yeah.
harder, sad things.
Like the hazing process for
Yeah,
a
hazing.
fraternity?
Well, sort of
He
looks at
pulled some
Roscoe.
stupid stunts in front of the alpha.
Oh.
Is your friend in the cult? Heck? Growl? Grr.
Yeah, he's part of it.
Would he be willing to take a ladybug in if we can hide her? Or maybe he tell you what happened and you tell us. Obviously, that's the safer route.
Well, Roscoe could be on mole.
If anyone is taking a ladybug, it should probably be me since I can mask the scent.
And also go other places that they.
And also
Grunt could not
probably a
go.
little more trusted.
Uh-huh.
Sylvie's just also mentally adding, I'm pretty sure Rel may or may not want to bring in a ladybug knowing who it was.
Well,
if her suspicions are right.
We don't. Well, Roxy has no idea.
I think we established that Cynthia was the only one that you telepathically talked to in your forms. So
Yep, Cynthia's
Cynthia
the
gets
only
that.
one who hears Sylvie's mental communication.
The
But
others.
you don't know the identity of Growl.
Sylvie's making an assumption regarding the identity of Growl.
Okay.
From what Joe's cues.
What is
okay?
Is Sylvie's current guess who it actually is, or somebody different?
Sylvie's current guess is it's Tony.
Okay.
Due to certain slip-ups that have occurred.
I feel like
Is this a thought that gets communicated to me, or is this internal?
I mean, it is communicated as a guess because she remembers that Cynthia can read her mind when she's in the tour.
Roxy would think it was Henry for other reasons.
The reaction to
Lena
Italian
thinks the
was
name
what?
is the name is too silly for her to get by, and she hopes to one day meet them outside of wolf form. But other than that, she's got no idea.
Yeah. So I think Cynthia, can you think of anything else that we need to like? I mean, we don't. Do we know any of the identities of any of the other betas? Because we may or may not have ways to learn things that they think about.
Roscoe said he'd recommend fine.
Okay, get us a file. Great. Cynthia, can you think of anything else that you want to ask or need to know?
At this immediate moment, no.
Okay. Sylvie.
I think our next order of business is getting Watchdog caught up on the chaos that's happened here in the last few days so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah. What's going on?
I think that's more of a back at the base conversation.
Yeah, there's stuff going on that we gotta
Then
deal
it's
with.
gonna have to wait. This isn't my last stop of the day.
Oh.
What is your priority over that?
Where are you going?
My mom's place.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, that
guess,
makes
yeah.
sense. You should
Yeah.
probably go see them.
Valid.
I'm gonna tell her. And show her.
Sylvie
Good
just
luck.
pats Joe on the shoulder sympathetically.
I mean, I feel like she'll be fine. Well, maybe not be fine with it, but like you should probably take your pa with you to do that. Also, you know, I feel like he can explain stuff better than you, regarding werewolves. Also, yeah, they might have other conversations that need to come up. I have thoughts, but it's not really my place. Anyways, yeah. So I guess after that.
I saw Henry. Haven't talked with her yet, but
Ooh. Roxy just like pats him on the oh, buddy.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Just to be completely transparent, we're staying friends with Henry. All right? No matter what happens. Okay. I mean,
not
we'll
really
still be friends
surprised.
with you too. We're not gonna be in the middle. Okay? We like you both. I tried to save your relationship, but buddy, man. Ugh.
You what?
I tried.
Just like looks at Cynthia. She what?
Hey,
Just explain that it
conversations
was-
happened that I was not present for.
I just explained that it wasn't your fault that you were gone for months.
Yeah, problem is, Rox, it kinda is.
What do you mean it kinda is?
Like I said, I'm well aware I'm a hypocrite.
I feel like you're saying words, but they don't really make sense in my brain.
I was the one who asked you to go into the portal. That doesn't
And we
make it
didn't-
your fault.
And we didn't know that time was going to be weird in the
But-
portal travel.
She
Mhm.
wouldn't. She wouldn't be like this if I told her about this, about the pack.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
that's what
Yeah,
I was
no,
going to
that's
say.
true.
I tried. I mean, she probably could have forgiven that based on my explanation to her and telling her why you didn't get a chance to like let her know. But yeah, it's all the other line that she was really more fixated on. So sorry. This is why I have an open mouth policy with my
Open mouth.
God.
This is why we don't tell you so many secrets.
Transparency. I realized
That's going
how
on the
horrible
quotes
that
list. I have an
sounds
open
like
mouth
when you
policy.
say it. I
Not
was
an
like,
open
oh,
door
no.
policy. It's an open mouth policy. Oh my God. That should be your new tagline on the Beacons page.
Have an open mouth.
Can't wait for Motivational Meme Monday.
Oh, I realized how bad it was like halfway through, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna finish it.
Just all in.
Yeah. It's too late to go back now. Oh.
So, yeah, I've still got a lot of pieces to pick up here.
You know, it's not just the pack thing that she's mad about, too, though, right?
I think that's
We'll-
topic.
We'll have
for
this conversation later, Joe. I can give you
hangout.
some advice and stuff on how to have.
Why
how
don't
to-
you handle your mom and that situation, and we'll have a discussion at some point regarding the rest of what's going on, but also give yourself a mental break to recover in between stressful situations.
Also,
We
there's a lot of
we can
pressing
watch
stuff.
movie. We have projector and popcorn.
Yeah, you can learn about the
Gu-
Wizard of Oz.
Guys, I appreciate it, but I've got a lot to fix. Okay?
Okay, well, your brain isn't rewired wrong, and people could just say fucking numbers and words to you, and you're a completely different person. So let me tell you that your problems are not the only problems we have, Joe.
When you have a moment, please check in so we can catch you up.
Yeah. I'm getting the impression shit went down on the other side of things here, and
Yeah, I was almost
We've
kidnapped.
been dealing with some stuff.
I'm sorry I added to it. I didn't know.
It's okay. I'm not feeling great about everything. Now there's two of me, so I've got some pretty serious problems too. Okay.
Speaking of this whole argument going on, Sylvie's gonna fly up real quick and do a perimeter check. See if we've been here a bit.
Ladybug check. Yes. There's people after me. so.
Everything around.
Oh god.
Oh no.
The other Roxy is here. I'm on the bright side, she'll be a great
I
cover
don't
for
know
my
how to assess the
identity.
situation.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Fuck.
That's an 8.
Okay.
Okay,
Ooh.
you get to ask one.
I'm gonna say what here is the biggest threat?
So, everything in the immediate vicinity surrounding the junkyard, all fine and dandy. But as you're circling it, off in the distance, you see big, dusty cloud of smoke rising up between the buildings.
Ah, shit.
And
Immediately fly back and let people know what's going on.
Yeah, your parents or your mom might have to wait. Watchdog. And seeing as Roscoe probably shouldn't be seen in public with any of the rest of us, you know.
I also have a shop I need to get back to.
Sweet.
What's the
If you're in the mood
big-
for some good clam chowder, feel free to stop by
Always.
Hungry Sailor.
what's the big plume of smoke in Rust? Which direction was it coming from?
More towards downtown.
Should we get? You might get in trouble if you have a communicator. We can't just give you a communicator, right? Because that could be found, right?
We know where to find him. You
You know
work
where to
at
find me.
Yeah, we'll
the
go.
clam chowder place.
Yeah,
Mental
hungry
note.
sailor.
Salty man.
It's actually pretty good food.
Well, that's good.
What do you mean by actually?
You know how like crime storefronts are? They're generally not great, but you're actually pretty good.
It's like
I
Depends
would
on whether or
argue-
not they're
he like
Italian.
takes his
Yeah.
hand and like puts it on top of your head. It's like
Crime?
my shop isn't a crime storefront.
I would say of the crime storefronts you know, they all serve pretty good food.
I was gonna say Roxy's family's storefronts serve amazing fucking food.
Again, Joe does not know about that.
And I think you feel the like faintest like tickle of claws before they retract, and he just like ruffles your head really hard to like punch you over a little bit more, and is just like, I gotta get going, and I'll walk back towards the parking lot.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Roscoe.
You too, Calamity.
Thank you. All right. Well,
For the record, you
Sylvie.
have eaten at more crime storefronts than you are aware.
Is that another thing that happened while I was gone?
No.
is that what Sylvie says? Roxy's gonna go, what? All right. Well, okay. Cool. We apparently have problems somewhere.
Yeah, Sylvia will give rough coordinates to where she thinks the fire's at, and not or whatever the plume of smoke is.
Mhm.
I don't know if she flies or decides to take the bike with one of the girls on the back. Take Toby.
Joe
It has a
will,
name now.
Joe will pull out his spare mask, tie it around his eyes, and then looks at Eugene. Well, you want to make your debut, Lunar Ultima?
Aw, I thought he was gonna be Watch Daddy. All right.
That-
well.
no. I'm very much in the no camp on that.
Watch Dad?
Joe shifts into Watchdog.
You
So
see
we
that?
may or
Absolutely
may
not.
not grow a small or like a fitted mask for Eugene out of plants that are there.
Oh, to go on his wolf form? That's so cute.
He just says, well, I was gonna ask if I needed any mask or anything, but I guess
My stinky
this...
breath.
Joe, you should
This'll
probably
work.
not drive your car. You all should probably, and it's not very easy for wolves to ride on bikes in your form.
Calamity. We can run.
We can run.
Oh, well, do you
Or
want
you
to
could
fly?
ride on the back of the bikes.
No, he's
We
in
have
wolf.
enough.
He's four-legged wolf.
Eugene shifts into his wolf form and kind of like rolls his head and stretches his shoulders and is like, I'll meet you downtown and just
Oh, good.
takes
That he
off.
can communicate in wolf form.
It's not like Sylvie.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive. Are you
Yes,
gonna
he's
run?
right behind
You
him.
don't take your car, Joe.
Yeah.
It's very, very distinctive. I don't know if you know that the color red.
No,
Very
Again,
distinctive.
I am running currently.
Okay, bye.
You're just shouting this after him.
Yeah.
As he chases down Eugene.
All right, gets on the bike. Elena can ride with whatever of the three girls she wants to ride
she's
with.
gonna fly. I think.
Yeah, you have
Keep eyes in
idea
the
of
sky
where-
for
Oh yeah, she can fly. Yeah.
SWAT team.
Oh, that's
Roxy
a good
extraction
point.
team.
Yep.
So as you are heading off, I think Echo probably gets a call on the comms from Sarah, and she says, "Need any more backup?"
Very possibly.
Jump on one of our bikes.
All right,
Super
Wanna
cool
ride?
acrobat.
Yeah, as
sure. And you just see her like this shield appear on top of one of the buildings that she hops on, and like will use it to fly down towards the rest of the group to grab.
and land on
Get on
someone.
one of the get on one of the bikes.
Vroom
But-
vroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's still around.
You're
Okay.
gone. You don't know.
You don't know this. But all of you can take off and one by one head towards this plume of smoke. And before we wrap up, what I will leave you with is that you all round a corner towards a larger opening, like larger break in the city, more of a sort of open square with some shops surrounding a grassy area where people can congregate. And you see a slight looking individual wearing some jeans and some ratty Converse and a hoodie. And you can see that they have a domino mask underneath this hood that's pulled up over their head. And they are currently being held aloft in the air. Obviously under the control of this, but they are holding themselves aloft with luminescent seaweed.
Ah!
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, that's where it went.
We've created
It's
Kelp Boy.
back!
Oh no!
It's fine.
No, Kelp Cadet. There we go.
Our little
Kelp.
kelper.
Kelper. They have a name.
Yeah, but they've had names in the past and decided on other ones anyway. So.
All right.
I don't know, Tempest after. She's no longer icy hot.
We can
Joe
head
is
into
going to
the
have
Build a
such
fountain.
a long day.
end of session questions.
He's already been beat
I have
up
a
once. He's
question.
about to
Who
get
the
beat
hell
up.
is the kelp boy? Kelp person. Kelp figure.
You'll find out.
Individual of mysterious
week.
and indistinct gender.
Yes.
You'll find out.
Ah, all right.
Kelp Cadet is the alpha.
God.
Oh my god,
Alpha.
kelp boy and the alpha are the same person.
There's probably another little side panel of Henry just sitting down in front of a lab table and staring at everything.
Oh, Henry has Roxy DNA now. She would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She knows what to look for the wolf stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Does she?
Nice.
She might.
She
if
doesn't
she's-
know.
We don't know.
If
But
she's,
she
if
might
she's
see something
examined
weird.
Joe's DNA before, though, she might notice something similar.
Something peculiar.
Anyway,
Who knows?
But yeah, in case it wasn't explicit enough here, werewolves are magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a virus. It's not some genetic
It's a-
marker. It's straight up magic that's passed
Are you
through
sure that it's not
bloodlines.
a genetic mutation?
Nope.
But if it's a magic genetic mutation,
It
yeah,
might
that's
be
what I
that.
was
Magical
thinking.
genetics.
Magic genetics.
Magic genetics, yes. I agree with
Magenetics.
this.
Who's going first?
Debating if I want to clear conditions because I feel like both of hers are very thematic right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I don't have to. I
Uh,
can take.
Potential instead.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna. I think I'll go first here. I'm definitely gonna say grow close to the team because
Aw.
Joe just laid it out on the table. For someone in specific, I think I'm actually going to say Valkyrie
Because it's
Ah.
confirmed that she is an aroma.
because he was like fully honest with her and she seemed understanding, even sympathetic at times, which was perhaps a touch surprising for Joe.
Sylvie, for the first time ever, has influence over Joe.
Mhm.
damn.
I was like, I don't remember if she has gotten that or not.
You have
Nope,
never had
I've
influence
specifically been
over
avoiding
Joe.
it up till now.
He's got trauma. He's got
Only took
pheromone-related
24
trauma.
sessions.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I will
Trauma.
go ahead and clear. We'll say afraid.
I'll go next. Because I do think Sylvie is also going to give influence to Joe because the vulnerability he just showed with her in regards to a couple of things.
Friendship.
Joe does have
Okay.
influence over Sylvie already.
Yes. that
Trauma-based friendship is fine.
Trauma
bond.
bonding.
In that case,
As long as you don't develop limerence.
Yeah, limerence is
I
dangerous.
think-
Don't do that.
I think I will shift freak down and we'll say savior up.
Okay, that works.
He kind of feels like maybe you're less the monster and maybe you're someone who can actually help him.
She's the anti-monster. I mean, if anybody's the monster right now, it's Roxy. She taught plants capitalism.
Really making that canon, huh?
Yeah.
It is canon.
We've taught
Did
the
it by
plants to
accident.
spy at capitalism.
When we do a sequel campaign to this, I'm officially playing a plant golem who's like a rabid capitalist.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. I love this.
Yes.
Yep, both of those work. I do not take a condition, which is always good.
Good stuff.
Imagine
That's where we're
if
at
you
right now.
cleared a condition and then both
Oh,
hit a
I-
wall.
Yeah. I've definitely done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
So you're clearing a condition too?
No, I took potential because I like
Ah.
her to conditions right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Who's next?
I'll go.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a similar reason that Valkyrie gave, but Cynthia is still a little annoyed with Joe for some things, but is, I guess in a way, proud of him for actually talking to them about some of them for once. So we're going to give influence back to Joe.
Fair enough.
I'm making friends.
Character
don't.
growth.
Yes.
I don't have any conditions, so I am going to mark potential. I need to slow down.
Yay.
Or go faster.
Or go faster.
We gotta fight a whole werewolf pack, so we might need
That's fair.
extra powers.
Sylvie may or may not have a last minute solution for that if shit goes south.
Yeah, we did
Your
talk about that.
Eye of the no, what's it called? The thing.
Moment of truth.
Yeah,
Moment
that's
of
what it's
truth, yeah.
called.
Yeah, I already used mine. We talked about it because I was like, oh, if Sylvie has a moment of truth that she wants to use, I'm happy to because I broke us in, you can break us out. She's like,
Now that
I have
you-
something else that I need to deal that will be better for. I was like,
Damn, now that you bring that up, I'm now sitting here thinking, do I want to try to grab Joe's moment of truth?
Also valid.
Yeah. I know what I'm grabbing next.
No, I'm sticking with removing the condition for now.
Yeah.
Oh, are you
There's
that
Travis.
close?
I'm not super close, but getting a potential would get me pretty close.
Oh,
I mean, you might have an opportunity in this
Next
upcoming
session.
fight and next session.
True.
yeah.
You
there are-
how many? You have like a few conditions marked already, though, because of that fight, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I had
Yeah.
afraid and insecure marked, and I got rid of afraid. Because Joe is very much still feeling insecure because there's one particularly very important relationship in his life that is currently in shambles. Though I do have an idea how I can turn it into a pretty cool moment. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I'm
Fingers
excited for
crossed.
this deeper conversation. So I was like, everyone joking about me killing Henry, and I'm like, there are other ways to take Henry away from you.
Heartrending ways.
I am going to grow closer to myself, because she's just kind of little vibing and waiting for something to happen. I'm gonna shift Savior down and Freak up.
And Elena continues to be somehow the most emotionally stable person in this entire
She's
group.
afraid and angry right now.
Well, fair, given the
She hasn't had the
circumstances.
chance to fully
Mhm.
express her fear and anger, and she'll have her time. Don't worry.
Screaming and throwing werewolves every which way with gravity. Not even throwing
Yes.
them, just turning off their gravity and watching
Yeah,
them run around.
they're just gonna be
In the air.
werewolves like trying to run and fight in
God.
the air, and they're just like, help!
Just
Help!
trap them
I'm
there and
stuck.
wait for Roxy to grab one and throw one.
Until the point you find the one beta that can fly, and then at that point it's like, oh crap.
Just put them upside down in the air, and they're just
That's
flying.
the one. That's
Then
the
you
one
turn
that
up
Cynthia.
their gravity.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Then you make that one be on the ground, so Roxy can beat that one up first.
Right.
I'm
But-
wondering if Joe's gonna. It's gonna occur to Joe that if she gets into a fight with a bunch of werewolves, she's gonna get bit.
It's occurred to him.
I feel like that's pretty important knowledge.
Well, if he could get to certain points in the story, he might be planning to confide in Echo the identity of Growl.
So you're not even gonna tell Roxy about her own brother? This
Well,
is
the
why
thing
Henry
is-
broke up with you, Joe. This is
The-
why Henry broke up with
It's
you.
a different circumstance here, though, because
No,
this is
it's
not
not.
Joe avoiding consequences. This is Joe who greatly values Tony as a friend, being
It's
like
also
Tony as
Tony's secret,
specifically,
not Joe's
yeah,
secret.
Joe's
Yeah, but it's
uh,
also Roxy's secret if she has the genetic predisposition to become a wolf and then goes into this blind, gets bit, and then becomes a wolf. That's all becomes
That sounds
Joe
like
and
Joe's
Tony's
gonna
fault.
have a dilemma.
Yeah.
Joe's
which
got
is
a
why
lot
he
of
wants to talk to
dilemmas.
Cynthia about it, because he's like, I don't actually know what the right answer is here, because
Oh,
one
that's
way or
fair.
another, I
If
feel like
you're-
both of them are going to hate me.
I also appreciate that Cynthia's the only one who knows about Sylvie's suspicions, except maybe Joe, but Joe doesn't know what connection she's made. If only also because I did realize Tony was a little skittish around Sylvie when he found out about the pheromones.
That's true.
Because that was him being like, oh, right, Joe told me about that. Oh, shit.
You're all wrong.
You tell Tony
Oh.
about all your secrets?
Again, Joe does not have
Hypocrite.
an option with the pack. He either
Oh.
tells them or he loses a limb.
All right, what about Roxy?
Roxy, I think she grew closer to the team. I think, honestly, weirdly, even though Cynthia wasn't like super active in the conversation, like she kind of got like the vibe that Cynthia was like, I have bigger problems right now, or I have other priorities right now. or I have things that are bigger priority. Like
The top 3 items in our priority list are figuring out how to deprogram Roxy, making sure Roxy doesn't get kidnapped again, and figuring out what to do with the double Roxy situation.
Yes.
It's just a rocks docket.
Yep. Elena's double Roxy situation. Stop Roxy from being kidnapped. Find old man.
I
That's
feel like
fair.
Sylvie's just
Then the
werewolves / Fae.
Wait,
Roxy,
which old man are you looking for?
Her dad.
dad.
Ah, okay.
Natalie knows his name, but like, there's been so much going
other
on. She's
shit?
like, I can't ask right now. There's 2 Roxys.
Yeah. Well, and that could blow up the whole universe. Who knows?
Yeah, we also don't know if that's gonna blow up the universe yet.
that is actually maybe the top priority. That is also maybe Roxy's top priority.
What if
but
that's how we
also-
stop the werewolves?
That is true. We could use universe explosion.
That feels like an overreaction.
Roxy goes supernova. Oh,
Oh
we
my
turn
god.
the other Roxy into a werewolf.
Hmm.
Then we merge them like on Teen Wolf, where you had the morphed alpha. You know?
What?
Did you see Teen Wolf?
I did not.
Oh,
What are you
yeah.
talking
2 of the
about?
wolf alphas were twins. And so they could merge their wolf forms into like a mega wolf alpha.
Okay.
And like
Sure.
combine their
Plot
powers.
twist, the alpha's just a pair of twins. That's why he's so tall.
Wonder Twin powers. Cool.
Wonderful
Ultron but
power.
wolves.
And all
Checkmate
formed the
power.
snoot.
Yeah. Anyways, so I think she grew closer to Cynthia, and I'm gonna take potential. I'm gonna continue to be angry, because somebody reprogrammed her brain, and that pisses her the fuck off.
That's
It's fair.
She's really upset by this.
Alright. Which
So-
labels is Cynthia gonna shift?
Yes, you already have influenza.
Hmm. Okay. Probably hoping this doesn't end in a condition, but we'll see. My thought was probably savior down and danger up.
Danger
Because,
cannot go up. It is locked.
Wait, what?
Danger's
locked. I locked my
Oh.
computer.
So
So
nothing
it-
changes then.
So I don't take a condition, but also nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine.
That's fair.
It's better
Yeah.
than taking a condition.
Didn't do anything, but the reasoning being that she's not sure that Roxy grasps the danger of the situation.
Oh, Roxy grasps the danger of the situation. She'd just rather deal with Joe's problems than her problems right now, because her problems seem way worse than a whole cult of werewolves.
And I'm more that I think she seems to be implying she wants to just roll straight up and fist fight the entire cult, and Cynthia
Oh
doesn't think that
no,
would go
that's
well.
why she was asking about all the powers and stuff so that they could take measures against it.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to go in like that. She's just
Okay. I think it was the comment about like the throwing all the werewolves if they try to like come at you thing. That was like,
Oh well, that
is she
would-
is she planning to like sneak out and go attack them?
I don't. She doesn't reasonably think she can throw 300 werewolves while they're all
Okay,
attacking
just
her.
double checking.
But if they
Um,
were floating in midair,
I was not entirely sure.
She's strong, but not that strong, and only has 2 hands. So that like reasonably, she can only throw 2 werewolves at a time if she gets them by like the tail or something and like whips them hard.
Aren't
You
you
get,
physics where they all run at her in a line and she just uppercuts all of them and each one
Yes.
goes flying?
She takes 2 werewolves and makes them into nunchucks, and then fights
We
off the
make
werewolves with the
Doc
werewolf
Ock
nunchucks.
arms for Roxy.
Yeah.
So
No, she doesn't
hard.
think she could reasonably take on
Okay.
Doc
that
rocks.
many werewolves by herself. She's trying
Okay.
to just like get as much information so they can game plan how
Okay,
to
that makes more sense.
disable more of them, like disable as many as possible so that she's. I mean, ideally, it would just be a fight with the alpha.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Why fight all these werewolves who might not want to be under the alpha's pack control?
Yeah.
Thank you.
When we can just fight that one guy. She just thinks that if he's controlling them, then she might have to throw some werewolves out of the way.
This whole
when
time
we
y'all have
do
been talking
decide-
about just like slaughtering the werewolves wholesale, and I've just been sitting here like,
No.
they're
No,
not
no,
here
no,
of
you
their
go
own
after the
volition.
wizard.
There are 2 targets on Sylvie's list. It's the Alpha and Aroma, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wizard.
Aroma's got it coming.
Yeah. She
They had
figures
it
that
coming.
Aroma
I guess
has to-
Aroma for the trauma.
Sylvie
How
might
dare
also
she.
try and steal Aroma's clothes. We'll see.
She
does
does seem
have
like
very
she's
nice
high
dresses.
fashion, so.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, no. Roxy thinks that she might have to throw through werewolves because they get commanded to like attack them when the fight does go down, but not like she's not gonna throw them like to kill them. She's just gonna like get out of my way.
Incapacitate.
Yeah, it's like get out of my way things.
All right. With that, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Glad to finally have the whole crew back together. And I'm excited for more interpersonal drama.
It'll be
Joe's
great.
love life. These are the days of Joe's woes.
Yes. But we will hopefully see you back here next week, or you can see us sooner if you join the Discord.
Yes.
Until then, have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye.